Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the Down the Line podcast. Ethan, there's something very different today. Incredibly different, some would say.
Yeah, the Blue Jays won their first game like ever, it feels, and also something else, obviously.
What's the other one? What do you think it is? I can't put my
Yeah, I
finger
heard,
on
I
it.
heard, yeah, I don't know. I heard rumblings that there might be a special guest
Oh
today.
my god. A third person today. For the first time in Down the Line history. A three-man show. Introduce
Stunning news,
yourself,
honestly.
mystery man.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sam Santos. I am the host of the East Side Show, among other things.
Yup.
Very pleased to be here.
Yup.
Talk some
Second
ball,
second time
ball
second
with
time
you
you've been
guys.
here. Second time you've been here. You've been here before.
That's true. This is your guys' first three-man show, though, so
This
happy to be
is
a part of it.
history. History. Of
I-
course. We got some things today. We're hella close to the deadline. We're so close. We're right there. I can feel it. I can feel it. It's in August this year. It's like really weird because it's always like July 31st. It always just feels perfect. And then they said it's
You could
August.
say that today we're making more history than the 2026 Toronto Blue Jays.
Don't even, man.
I would not doubt that.
I wouldn't be surprised. Like it's as a wise man likes to tell me, like it gets to a point
It does
with,
indeed get to a
with this
point.
squadron. It does get to a point. I'm just like, man, it pissed me off every time I turn on a game, bro. last, last year it was like we're getting hype. If I was working and they were playing, I'm on my way home, I'm watching, we're getting hype. We were getting
You could turn on a game down like 6-0. It's like, oh, okay, I'll just watch the comeback real quick.
we got absolutely hyped in my apartment a couple times. And
We
then
did.
this season, it's like I'm trying to turn this shit off. Bro. Like I don't want to watch this shit.
It's definitely a season where if they go down two in the first two innings, you can just turn it off. Like it is what it is.
So people made this comparison like 2 years ago, right? Where in 23, 24, 1-0 felt like 1-0, 2-0 felt like a crazy deficit, right? And then at that point, that was obviously before the 25 team was doing its thing. They were talking about, man, in like 15, 16, like 5-0 didn't feel like shit, you know. And last year
Yeah,
was the same
zero
thing.
zero feels heavy now.
5-0 felt like nothing last year. It's like that's light work. Like we got that. And honestly, even like the first like week or so of the season, it's like they did that like twice. I think against the A's, in the first series of the season.
Yeah.
They had like 2 comeback wins.
Yeah, the
Remember,
first series
remember when we were
was
undefeated?
Yeah,
Remember when we had
we
swept
were
every single
undefeated.
series of the season?
no.
I do, because that's for the
It,
first
fe-
series.
it feels
Well,
long ago.
we were undefeated up until things started changing once the Ponce injury hit. What if that's like where things went to shit?
It started the first game that me and Sam attended this season. That's
Yeah,
when it started.
I
Uh,
think the vibes definitely never recovered. I think that's safe to say.
it's a
Yeah.
it's a tough one. We unfortunately we didn't pull the Red Sox and straight up recover the vibes. That's an ultimate vibe recovery. I can't lie. Historic
So
I
vibe
mean,
recovery.
I was at your place, Nick, about, about a week ago.
I was thinking. I was like, I need to tell this on the
And
show.
yeah, you know what? You go ahead.
So so me and Sam and then another one of our friends. His name's Harsh. The host of the Harsh Talks podcast, by the way. Shout out. So we're over. We're all hanging, and he's not as into it as like we are, right? So he's asking about like this team doing good, this team is not doing good, whatever, right? And then he asks, "What about the Red Sox?" And Sam says, "Oh, they're terrible." And I think at this point they had won like 11 or 12 in a row. And I make this face. I'm like, if you say so, man. And I'm like, and he finishes the sentence, and I'm like, Harsh, they're in a playoff spot, and they've won 12 in a row. And Sam, he doesn't even refute me. He just looks right back at Harsh. He says, "All right, so they're not, so they're amazing, actually." And just ends there, which is crazy because even like not that long ago on the show, we were saying like, man, did they buy? Did they sell? Because they were still they weren't like all the way there yet. They were somewhere
Yeah.
along this winning streak, but it wasn't. It ended at 15. It's a 15 game
Yeah.
winning streak, but it wasn't quite all the way there. It might have been last week, maybe it was the week before. I don't exactly remember. But we were like, damn, like, what do they do? Like, they're under 500.
Yeah, I
They're
remember
without a lot of
seeing-
guys.
Yeah.
And then they just said, no,
I,
we're good.
yeah. I remember seeing this tweet. I saw it resurface yesterday. It was Keegan Matheson from June 17th, I believe that's when we were facing Boston. And he said the Red Sox might finish 6th in the AL East.
They were 37-48, and then they were 52-48, just like that. Went more than 2 weeks without losing a game.
That's what real people think the Jays are just gonna magically do if they trade for Bo.
Hey, I seen these Bo to Trump. Get these tweets off my timeline, bro. Get them off my timeline. Like, what are we gonna do trading for Bo Bichette?
I agree with the sentiment that the only way this season can be saved is if we get legitimate devil magic that's forced by that trade, but that's not a realistic outcome.
I was seeing these tweets being like, in order for the Blue Jays to 100 games, they need to go like 54-7.
Yeah.
like let's wrap it up, man. It's more than that now. It's 53-4 now. They need to go 53-4. So
it's kind of like that meme with the guy with the Gucci bag hanging on by a strap. Like it's like
it's
let it
just
go.
let it go, bro.
Just let it go.
It's just let it go, man. I remember seeing these tweets, and I went on my private Twitter account that I honestly forget exists. Like almost like I have like a monthly like remembering that this account exists. And I went on there in like May, like early May, being like, man, I'd love to see if the Jays can turn the season around, but like, it doesn't look very good, man. Because like, every single time they go the player or the team, there's always things that you can look at, being like, you know what, this is being done really well, like things will turn around, or in the opposite direction, being like, I know things are going well, but this is kind of concerning. And honestly, all season, it was just kind of like, yeah, remember that really good process they had last year? Yeah, they decided to go back to doing whatever the fuck they were doing in 24 and 23 when they couldn't fucking hit for anything.
I would like to ask you guys a question, okay? Out of every position player that has appeared for the Blue Jays this season, I would like you guys to guess how many of them have, as of right now, an OPS plus over 100.
So, just have appeared, just in general. Okay,
appeared for at least one plate appearance for the Toronto Blue Jays this season.
Okay. I'm going to guess Kaz. I'm going to guess Ernie by like a couple points, probably like 102, 103, something like that. I'm going to guess Pinyango.
Oh, Class A.
Oh, fuck, yeah, Class A.
Yeah.
Class A. His numbers are juiced in like those very few plate appearances.
Class A is like top 10 in the team in WAR, I'm pretty sure already.
Shut up.
Like in terms of in terms of hitters, like
I hate it, man. I hate it here, bro.
It's bad.
It's so bleak. You know what's crazy? If in the offseason you said, yeah, this 94 win team that won the AL, they added a guy who's probably gonna, most likely, barring crazy slump or injury or whatever, gonna hit 30 homers. They added a Cy Young front runner, top 2 right now. They added one of the best relievers in the league. You'd be like, holy shit, this team's loaded. Like, this team is going to be top of the AL, like, easy. I think that'd be a pretty fair reaction, right? I think so. On its own.
I think so.
I would not have said they're going to be, 47-56.
Wah, wah.
Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, I will tell you all of the individuals. So you got 3 of them. You got Clement sitting at 102. You got Kaz sitting at 103. Class A at 143. That's shocking. Sure, take it. You got... I'll save the funniest one for last. You got Jesus Sanchez, who's currently injured, at a 104 OPS plus.
Okay.
The only other human being
Lucas?
that reaches that benchmark is Luis Urias.
Oh,
Luis
Oh,
Urias.
God, no.
What's Nathan Lucas at? I'm curious.
No,
Lucas is at 99.
99? Oh, just a tick under. Okay.
Fucking
just
Luis
under.
Urias, dude. Whenever I think of him, I think of that one clip when he was with the Brewers. I forget who they were playing, but it was a ground ball to him, and then Brian Anderson's like, oh, look at the play by Urias, and he throws it away because he throws it like 20 feet above the first baseman's head.
I don't know why, I just randomly thought of this. I had this crazy, like, MLB The Show sim, like, years ago, and it was a Blue Jays, like, franchise. I think it was, like, 21. And I don't know, I, like, traded for Luis Urias or something. This guy ended up as, like, a 90 overall. It was ridiculous. We were running shit with him there. I can't lie. Clear. I mean, I don't know. Maybe history repeats itself. I don't know, but like the Luis Urias thing. I know I sent you both this tweet. The tweet where they're saying trade this guy, and like every second one is Hoffman. One of them was Luis Urias, and I'm like, guy thinks that we're getting any sort of piece for Urias of Luis in the big 2026. By the way,
Teams
can
are
get-
lining up for his talents.
this
If you can
tweet's
get a middle reliever from AA from a single A team for Luis Urias, that is a steal every day of the week.
This tweet's hilarious because he throws Patrick Corbin in there too. Like we're getting anything for MAGA Man right now. Like I'm so sure. He just went on the IL. I'm pretty sure. Like I think literally today. Like they put him on.
Oh, I missed that.
I'm pretty sure they did something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. We have.
Unironically, though, he was pitching well out of the pen.
I'm
not saying that's netting a big return, but it definitely nets a return compared to if we had these conversations a couple weeks into his, Blue Jays career.
Like you're getting a body.
Yes.
Like you're getting a living, breathing baseball player.
I saw real Nationals fans yesterday say how they should trade for him and Scherzer.
If you want to give me anything for those two, I will take it. I'll take the parking meter outside of the stadium, bro. Like, I'll take it, man.
Also, I want to talk about what happened on Blue Jays Talk with Blair and Barker. That is one of the funniest things I think I've ever seen in my life.
Hey, I was crying when you sent me that shit, bro.
So it was a fly ball he was talking about. He says, Dalton Varsho runs into the wall. This is Jeff Blair. And I'm going, please, God, please don't let him hurt his knee because I want him out of here. I want him traded. Just absolutely diabolical from a guy on a podcast that's working for the company that
Currently employed by Sportsnet.
So funny. And I'm not saying he's wrong. It's just so funny.
That's hilarious. I was crying when you sent me that last night. Because, I mean, like, okay, number one, like, you're not, like, he's correct. Like, I can't lie, he's correct. Like, I need a return right here. Like, teams are, like, whoever, they're Houston, Philly, whoever, like, they're calling. That was hilarious. I was fucking crying. Because I'm like, if he hits the 15-day IL and he's going to be out, or not 15, the 10-day IL and he's going to be out like some time, it's actually over. Like, it's done.
Yeah.
It's so done,
and then he had the fly ball yesterday after this quote where he, like, completely missed it while trying to run to it, just took a bad route and didn't come close.
Oh, my God.
It just doesn't even seem like he's the same person that he was. No, I'm not even saying the same person from when we, the day we made the trade. He doesn't even seem like the same player from last season.
It's crazy because, like, pretty much his entire tenure here, before this season, he's been, like, varying levels of hitter. The first 2 years, he was like, whatever. Last year, he was, like, a legitimate, like, real power guy. And all 3 years, he was, like, one of the best defensive outfielders in the league when he was there. And this year, he's still been good defensively, but he is... good defensively is a big step back from you are one of the best defensive outfielders on the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that
Another really interesting one is Ernie because, his defense kind of buoyed his value for the last 2 years before this, and then suddenly this year apparently he doesn't do that anymore. But now he hits.
I remember thinking going into the 25 season, because I don't know if you guys remember, everyone was projecting the lineup to be like, I think it was, people were projecting obviously Bo at short, Vlad at first. Will Wagner was like, everyone wanted him starting at third, and then I think a bunch of people were projecting like Schneid's at second again, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. I remember sitting there being like, actually no, because they had got Andres, that's right, so it was that, right? And I'm thinking, did Ernie Clement not just put up like a 3-win season? Like, did that just not happen? Like, am I living in a different reality?
Yeah.
And then obviously last year happens and he's really good. And not only that, he's like an elite defender at third base, by the way, which is a more demanding and just harder position than second. And then he goes to one of the, I'm not going to say easiest position. I'm not going to say easy because obviously fucking playing professional baseball, but out of everything on the field, you are at one of the less demanding positions, right? All of a sudden, he goes from being a all-world defender to being like, get him in the DH spot right now. like you should not be out there. Like, it's crazy. I was saying this to Sam a few days ago. Like, back in like April, right, for Jay's Journal, I wrote this piece. They had put this thing in the chat, and I picked it up, being like, basically being like, the Blue Jays middle infield is going to be in Gold Glove combos by the end of the year. And I was like, yeah, like, Andres is going to be doing his thing. Into that when he was still doing really good at shortstop. And I remember a big thing that I said in there was like, yeah, Ernie's kind of not been so great so far, but, we trust everything's going to even out given his track record, right? Because, that's
So about that.
logically what you would assume. And then it's just like, no, not even close.
Yeah, he never really recouped that.
No. It's been bad. It's been bad.
Yeah.
He went... Last year, he was in 98th percentile outs above average. This year, it is 7th percentile.
Ouch.
That's...
To put things in perspective, Bo Bichette's a positive defender this year in terms of outs above average.
If you told me that Bo Bichette was going to be a better defender this year than Ernie Clement, I'd actually smack you. Like, I'm not kidding, I'd smack you.
But, like, the funniest part is that it's not even for two things. One, it's not even like it's just, it's like marginally better. It's a matter of one out above average and negative. Yes.
69th percentile versus 7th percentile.
Yes. And I think another funny thing to note is that the majority of the games he's played this season has been in a position that he's never played before basically, like, very limited time, like, maybe in the minors, spring training, whatever. This is basically virtually a brand new position for him, and he's doing better defensively than the guy who's supposed to be a Gold Glover.
Literally, he had never logged a major league inning at third base before this season. And his defensive stats, they look perfect. Like, they look solid. Like, only -1 defensive run saved. He's a plus on outs above average. He's pretty much average on, like, fielding run value and stuff like that. Like, honestly, a lot better than I expected. Because I remember coming on here and saying, you guys are going to learn. And you know what? I'll take my L. I will take my L. He's still been trashed at shortstop when he's played this year, though. So, like, I'm still kind of correct. So, you know what?
Yeah, but it's just, yeah.
It is what it is. It is what it is a little bit. It's a tough scene.
And yeah, that's the thing. Another thing with Andres Gimenez is that, first of all, I think it's fair to say that we don't make the World Series without him because of what he did in Seattle. It's also fair to say that get the absolute hell off my baseball team. This guy's making $23.5 million for the next, like, 3 years after this.
I remember not being too crazy about this trade when it happened. I remember saying, I texted you something like, if they don't get bats, I'm gonna scream. Like, I'm gonna have to start a resistance.
Yeah.
Like, and last year when the rest of the offense is really good, it's like, okay, you can let a player like this pass, right?
Absolutely. Like, if Andres Gimenez is hitting 9th in your lineup and 1 through 7 is pretty good, you can absolutely let that pass for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, it's not that big a deal. But when the rest of the offense sucks, also, I didn't even like last year, I was in my head being like, I think Horowitz was a little bit extra value that they didn't have to give up unless they were getting other stuff. They didn't get Cleveland to retain shit. That's the crazy thing.
Yeah.
You didn't get them to retain fucking anything.
Yeah.
Because I remember saying that when the trade went down. I'm like, that's a lot of money for someone who's like, if he's
fielding is still there, but I mean,
it is. He's still really good defensively.
Like
that's
when
not
the
going
rest
anywhere.
of the team, when the rest of the team can't hit though, he gets exposed. Obviously,
Also when your offense is so bad that realistically he's going to cap out. If he keeps up this level of offense, he's going to cap out at a 2-win player tops. That's not worth north of $20 million.
And it sucks when you see what Horowitz is doing with the Pirates, and also when you saw what he did with us in 24. It's not like this is like brand new that, oh wow, Horowitz is hitting the ball well. He's a good hitter. I mean, that was always. And I think my favorite part about that whole like 3-team thing was that there is a chance that if the Blue Jays don't make that initial trade,
the scandal never comes out.
Ortiz doesn't, because Ortiz was part of that trade going to Cleveland.
Yep.
And for all we know, it either doesn't happen or it just doesn't come out because that could have been like the iceberg tipping of it.
That is such a funny scenario to think about.
Yeah, that if Ross Atkins was better at his job, then Class A still playing.
Class A still playing. They're not getting found out. They have a super pen with like Sabrowski, Kate Smith, and Class A down there.
That is just so crazy to me that Emmanuel Clase is never going to play another game in the majors ever.
It's
like
crazy.
that's just absolutely mind-boggling.
I remember when the tweet hit my timeline that he got indicted. I'm like, oh, it's over for you. It's
Yeah.
over. Like, it's so over, man. It's crazy.
He could have made untold millions and millions and millions of dollars if he kept playing.
He on his contract already. He was set to make like north of $10 million at points. He's
Yeah,
like,
and
nah.
I'm not gonna get too much in it because I remember we'd already touched on it, but it when guys who are making $5+ million a year and have signed extensions like that are resorting to gambling, it's way more, of a problem that not that, oh, they need money, it's that, oh, they're gambling. It just shows that gambling it can be such a bad addiction that it doesn't matter how much money you're making or how much you have, it's still something that could stick with you.
Yeah, that's why I had Bruno Mars in them casinos up in Vegas for so long. So we got some in division stuff that we got to talk about. So like right after we filmed the last episode, I think like maybe a day or two after, boom, Kyle Bradish, big old extension, 5 years, $90 million. This is the breakdown: $10 million in 27, $13 million in 2028, 17 in 29, $22 million in 2030, and then $28 million in the final year, 2031. Overall, $90 million over 5 years through his age 34 season. What is your guys' first reaction when you hear all this?
Yeah.
Who's going first?
Go first. Go ahead.
It's a lot for the back half of it, but for a team like the Orioles who haven't really been able to re-sign, any of their pitchers long term, they haven't really had like much elite pitching recently. I think solidifying that you have him locked down while you're having guys like Gunnar, Adley, Jackson, Holiday either in or entering their prime, like you have them locked up for also buying out Arbiers. I mean, I don't see the problem with it. I think that it's a little more than I would have liked to pay if I'm in, the shoes of anybody in that front office, but it's one of those moves where you kind of have to just get it done, though. You don't really have a choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think it's probably a little more than you would want to shell out for Kyle Bradish in a vacuum in an ideal world, but that's not the world we live in. I think it makes sense for them to do. I do think I would like it better, a little bit better for the Orioles if it was front loaded instead of back loaded, because then if
Yes.
get yourself into a situation where you want to trade the guy down the road, it's easier to do so. So I mean, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I'm kind of whelmed, I would say. I think he's a good
Yeah.
pitcher, obviously.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Also, with all the uncertainty behind the CBA and like what's going to happen with a salary cap or whatever, it is interesting that they'd want to, right away say, okay, we'll give you 22 and 28 and 30 and 31. It's just kind of like, hold on, look, why don't you get a little more clarity? They see it still has 2 Arbiers. I don't think that like with the CBA looming, I don't think it would have been crazy for them to wait and just kind of see before they do it. But obviously, I'm never gonna be, mad. I'm not gonna criticize a team for locking down one of their players, especially when he's been as good as he has for them.
Yeah, when I first read that, and I looked at the breakdown and everything, I was like, okay, I do like that they're keeping their guys. I like that because this is what I think they should have done with Corbin Burns a few years ago, albeit that would have aged really poorly, but nobody would have blamed them for signing Corbin Burns, or re-signing him, I guess. But like he's had the injury troubles, whatever. Like he's good, but he's not like crazy good. I'm kind of like, it's those back few years that are really like, whoa, you know what I mean? That I didn't really think about it until you just said it, Sam. Like I think it would have been a lot better if they front loaded the deal because you know what I mean. If it doesn't really age as well, it's easier to get off of. Because if let's say if after 2 years go by, right? Let's say things just don't go well for I almost say Cleveland, for Baltimore. Bradish isn't really doing too hot. You want to get off the money. Let's say that happens after the 2 years of the deal, the first 2. You have 17, 22, and $28 million for a 32, 33, 34-year-old pitcher who in this scenario, we'll say he's not doing too great, right? Because I know that he's had the injury stuff, but also like even this year he's like been fine, right? Like he's been good, but like there's some concerning stuff. Like he's walking a lot of guys this season. Whereas, before he wasn't really doing that all that much. Like when he had his first really good year in 23, he wasn't walking guys. His walks per nine was like a little bit over 2. It was less than 2.5. Now his walks per nine in the season is over 4.
His strikeout to walks has halved from last year to this year.
Yeah, like it's kind of, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly how much I love it. I think realistically he's probably like a middle, like he's a 3 starter. I think is really what he is, which for the first, I'd say 2-3 years of that money. I mean, yeah, that's fine for that's solid. That's good for a 3. It's his last 2 that do it for me. So I don't know, but I do like that they're, I like the move on principle, is what I gotta say for it.
Yeah, I guess in general, you want to keep your guys around. It's as simple as that, right?
Yeah, and I mean, this is this kind of thing, like, I know we say it a lot on the show, but the small market teams, and they talked about they can't keep their players and blah, 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 and you can literally just fucking re-sign them, and there's countless examples of it happening. This is a good example. You just pay your guy, and he's not going to go, right? Everyone's always scared about, they're going to take a lot more money to go to a big market, and blah, 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 and it's like, okay, just pay the money. Like, Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be a Royal forever, because they gave him money. Connor Griffin is going to be a Pirate for a decade because they extended him. Jose Ramirez. I can keep going. But, it's just one of those things where if you really want to keep your guy, just fucking keep him, and you can do it. And we see it all the time, it happening. But
yeah, none of these owners, as contrary to what they would have you believe, none of them don't have the ability to shell out if they are incentivized to do so.
Exactly. Right? I'm a very firm believer that any owner, if they wanted to, can easily run a $200 million payroll. Right? You want to
including Bob Nutting, by the way,
yes,
Pittsburgh fans.
Including. Did y'all see? There was a little tidbit that came out about the Pirates. I don't remember what reporter set this out. They want to buy, but they don't want to add payroll. I'm like, come on, bro. Like y'all are ridiculous.
Because it is shocking.
They had a good offseason. Objectively, they had a really good offseason. I was impressed. I was so impressed by the offseason they had.
They won the offseason.
They did. They were one of the top teams that came out of the offseason. So it's from Bob Nightingale. So obviously, to be fair, take this with a grain of salt because it's Bob Nightingale. But he goes, it's the Pirates. They plan to be aggressive at the deadline if they can acquire pieces without increasing payroll. That is the wording. And
so,
I'm like, oh my god.
I'm not a huge Bob Nightingale guy, but is this how I'm supposed to interpret it? Is that they would have to move guys out, basically make lateral moves for no reason?
I guess.
How else do you possibly?
I guess what it would be one of two scenarios. Either you move someone who's making money in exchange for someone else who's also making money that is also good, that in their eyes would make them better, or you give up enough pieces that a team is willing to retain whatever money you are not taking on.
Have a quick detour for us, if possible.
Let's hear the detour.
Mitch Keller. Okay. Yes. I feel like every year since 2022, 2021, people have been saying, and including me, honestly, because I like the guy. I think he's a good pitcher. This is his year. This year he's going to, whatever about run prevention. It didn't look so good last year on paper, but this is going to be the year for the guy. I don't think it's ever going to be the year for the guy.
Oh, it's no. If it didn't happen last year, now that they're good, it's not happening. It's not happening unless they somehow wiggle, kind of like what you said, some sort of weird a lateral move that gets it. But I don't really think that's going to happen. This is the first year, I swear to God, in forever that I haven't heard Mitch Keller buzz. That you don't.
I think it's over. I think
it's over. It's over. Let it go, bro. It's over. that might have been our only shot. Yeah, no, it's done. I think we can. I can finally open Twitter and not see 50 Mitch Keller trade rumor tweets. It's kind of, it's like Thanos at the end of Infinity War. He's just sitting there, he's just watching the sunset. I'm like, it's over. It's done.
In 20 years, when Mitch Keller is 50, he's still going to be in trade rumors.
It's going to be I'm gonna open Twitter in 2050 and I'm gonna hear Mitch Keller's on the trade block again. Oh man. So
Here in the Yankees are working towards putting together a package with Spencer Jones, who's now 44, on getting Mitch Keller. See what happens.
So you know what's crazy? Don't forget Clint Frazier, Miguel Andujar. So you know what's crazy? I swear to God, every time I'd see those Mitch Keller packages, they'd have people giving up like big time prospects, and I'm always thinking, I'm like, Mitch Keller's not bad, but I'm also like, who the fuck do you think this guy is? You know what I mean? They'd have teams giving up
Maybe in 2022,
near their
maybe.
top prospects and everything, and I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. And I'm like, no fucking wonder this guy never got traded. I'm like, my God. I would see some of the packages. I'm like, you'll got me fucked up if you think I'm even sniffing this package. I'm like, you're good. Like, we're cool, bro. Like, I'm off that. So, anyways, we're gonna move on to our next thing. More CBA stuff, because every week it feels like there's been stuff. I don't know about you guys. I didn't realize how frequently we were going to get new CBA news. Like, it feels like every few days, like, we're getting something new. Like, oh, there's this new proposal, and this is what they're saying, and then blah, blah, blah. I didn't realize how frequently we were going to get it. In my head, I had that one day we were going to do, like, a big CBA-related episode. That's not happening, because this is way too... Or at least not in the way that I envisioned. Basically, the MLBPA is proposing to expand draft eligibility. So if you remember not too long ago, MLB proposed a big overhaul to the draft system, including cutting the rounds from 20 to 12 and eliminating draft eligibility for high schoolers. The union wants to basically say, fuck all that. We're keeping all those things. And they want to reduce the penalties for teams going over, like, their signing pool bonuses. And they want to give bonuses for, like, smaller market teams. I think a $1 million bump to teams that make the postseason. And in order to actually get hit by these penalties, you would have to exceed your signing pool bonus by 15%, whereas previously it was 5%. And, like, changing, like, the over-under slot value type things. I don't know about you guys. I don't care about this proposal. Like, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
This hit my phone a few days ago, and I'm like, I don't care.
Like, there's a lot of things in the CBA that's gonna matter, but at the same time, it's like there are so many more big things that need to be worried about first in order for these to kind of matter more.
Yeah.
It's not to say that these don't matter, but it's at the point where, you know, you should be focusing on the main focus should be, is there going to be baseball next season? Yes, obviously.
Which tough one.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. It feels like
that could be a 3-hour episode on itself. So
oh my God, man. I feel like a lot of these things are kind of like they're putting things out there that they know they're going to concede. I'm not saying this is one of the things, but, like, you know, obviously it's going to happen where they're going to put things out there and they're knowing, yeah, this probably isn't going to get through. We're going to concede this later in order to get this, or whatever it ends up being. But I don't know. I read this proposal when it hit my phone a few days ago, and I'm like, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't.
You know, these proposals and press releases and all that can also be just a negotiating tool, you know?
Also true. Also very true. When the salary cap ones were hitting my phone, I was like, all right, that's where you have me. That's where you got me. Like, this, obviously, that's the big one that everyone's talking about. It's the salary cap. And, you know, everyone knows where Ethan and I stand, at least. I know. You know.
yeah.
The East Side show, I don't think, talks about the salary cap like that. But, you know.
It's been a while since we had an episode, to be fair.
It's been a while. It has been a while. Some would say they're in the hood right now.
Some would say.
Some would say they are making it out the hood. But
stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned, he says. Keep your eyes and ears open. Y'all know what's going on. We may
just. Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry. No, actually, sorry. Say what you're gonna say, because I was gonna go into, like, our next point.
Oh, okay, good. Because I was just gonna make a joke. I was just gonna say that our next episode might be a 3-hour special about Masahiro Tanaka, but it also may not. So, anyways,
3-hour special. You're stealing my flow, are you? Stealing our flow. I don't know if either of you guys had saw this. I know I texted you, like, you know, before we started. This is what we're going over. I don't know if you guys know the full details. This is a sad one. Brandon Woodruff, he's out for the season again. He's getting what is the exact wording on it? So he a few years ago had shoulder surgery. You remember that big? He was out for a long time, right? He is having
all of 24.
Yes.
And parts of 23 and 25.
Yes. So he underwent that shoulder surgery. Missed, I think, 20 months, almost 2 full years. As of 5 days ago, he has to undergo season-ending shoulder surgery for the same capsule that he underwent surgery on before. So the first time he missed 20 months, I think is what I saw. I don't remember the exact math. Sorry. So he underwent it in September 2023. He didn't pitch again until July 2025. So that's, give or take 20 or so months. You can do the math on the rest of this season, right? Obviously, he's missing the rest of this year. Probably, I would bet money that he probably misses the rest of 27. Best case scenario, he's ready to go opening day 2028.
At this point, I really don't want to be this guy.
I know what you're about to say, and I don't think you're wrong.
There's a very good chance that his career is done.
I don't think you're that. I don't know. It makes me sad to think about it because I love Brandon Woodruff.
He's 33 years old today.
Yeah.
It's not there's a couple pitchers who I can remember off the top of my head who've had 2 of them, and I don't think any pitcher in Major League history who's undergone 2 has ever pitched another inning. There was Johan Santana, who tried to come back, pitched in the minor leagues a little, never actually made the majors again. I'm pretty sure it's the same thing Dallas Braden had. I think it's also the same thing that Mark Pryor had back in the day. This isn't something that is easy to come back from, let alone at this age and in this, with these specifics around it. I really hope it's not the case. I really hope.
You gotta hope, because, one of these, that's why I said, absolute, best case scenario, heavens rain down, the Angels are looking out. Not the Anaheim ones, because that would probably make things worse. Is he's ready to go opening day 2028, and that's if a miracle happens, you know what I mean?
Yeah. But speaking of the Angels, oh my goodness, do I have something to bring up?
Oh my god, I forgot to put the spy thing in our little agenda.
Spy thing?
The funny thing is, I just remember that when you said it, and that's not even what the funny thing I was thinking about was.
Oh, wait, what were you thinking about?
I saw a stat line today of Alek Manoah, of what he's doing this year. And he is 1-6 with a 15.8 ERA and a 2.927 WHIP.
Not in the majors,
now,
by the way.
That's not good. It's even worse when you take into account that is in AAA.
I saw someone on Twitter, I think it was Nene Takes, actually. I think that's who it was. They quote tweeted that. Do you guys remember when Yermin Mercedes posted on his Instagram story that he was going to retire?
El Retiro,
yes.
dude. That's an old timer.
That's a classic. That's a classic. Every now and again, when someone's just all mega trash, just straight turbo ass, you see someone quote tweet it with that, and I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, I've used that. If I have a terrible performance in a video game, I'll post it and be like, yeah, I'm never playing this again.
I saw that tweeted in regards to Manoah, and I'm like, yeah, I think it's. Listen, it's tough because, obviously it's tough for us because we're like, damn, that's our, once upon a time, that was our guy, But, I think it's over. it's over.
It's so ridiculously over. I don't think it's ever been more over for anyone else.
No.
In the history of, mankind, there's certain levels of, it's so over. I actually think that this is a record. This is a new record.
We're reaching levels of over that have never been reached before.
In 9 2/3
This is the history that we said we were going to make. This is it. We have reached it.
This is the history. In 9 2/3 innings, he's allowed 28 earned runs.
And, this isn't funny because it's ha ha ha, this guy sucks, his career's over, his livelihood is in jeopardy. It's this is somebody who, I love. There's a Manoah,
It's just like,
it sucks to see. It's just like how does it happen? And for those wondering, I'm seeing here that in a Mexican league or something, Mercedes last season put up a OPS of about 580. Not great.
Not what you need.
El Retiro.
Yeah.
I see.
Now he's playing in Venezuela, and I can't even see those stats. So.
Oh boy, they're trying to cover it up. I'm on this tweet that I'm looking at right now. It's the one I just cited the Manoah stats off of. The first reply is, "Got to think he's near the top of the release candidates once they need space for the draftees on the reserve list count." And that tweet got replied to. It said, "I never assume anything with the Angels. He might be starting in San Francisco on Friday for all we know."
True.
It's unfortunately true because you never know what the fuck's going on with that org.
I think
But now, yeah.
I think it's so over for Manoah that it's actually disrespectful to Brandon Woodruff that we talked about Alek Manoah directly after him.
Yeah. Brandon Woodruff, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. Like,
it's also disrespectful. It's also disrespectful of Ricky Romero for the people who are putting Manoah in those comps.
Oh my god.
Ricky Romero was good for actually multiple seasons.
He had years. He had a few years. I'm not gonna lie. His what was the one year he was really fucking good? Was it 2011?
2011. Yeah, 2011. He was top 10 in Cy Young. Absolutely unbelievable. That was one of my favorite seasons from
the 2 years before that. He was solid too, and then it just
The 2010 season, it moves me too. I'm not gonna lie, that does stuff for me.
He was good. He was good.
Yeah.
You can honestly argue his underlying stuff was better than 2011, but
his FIP was much lower actually. In 2010.
He struck out more guys. The home runs were far fewer. It was really just the walks were a little bit more. And then even 2009, he wasn't bad. He was fine. He was an okay starter.
You know what? Actually, before we get too far off of Brandon Woodruff, I just want to say that this guy has actually just never been bad at the major league level. If you actually look at this shit, he had a bad 8-game rookie stretch in 2017, and he was just good forever after that. He's never been bad.
He's been that guy.
This is someone who's going to go down as one of the biggest what-ifs of this century for baseball.
Yeah, listen, there's not that many pitchers who, have taken Clayton Kershaw deep in a playoff game. I'm just putting it out there.
True. Well, there's a lot of players who have, though.
Well, that's why I said pitchers. That's why I said pitchers. I choose my words very carefully over here, except when I don't.
Yeah. But speaking of the Angels, I guess we should talk about the spy thing now that we...
So... Sam, I guess you don't know what we're talking about, Ethan. Obviously,
I actually have never heard of
this. I guess you know. So
yeah. So first of all, you know how I brought up saying how nothing surprised us with the Angels.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there's a scout, right? His name's Justin Prinstein. His nickname's Boomer, and they called him the baseball spy. Guess what team he was filming? Guess what stadium he was filming with a phone, from coaches and stuff from the stands. Guess which team he chose to spy on?
So I'm guessing someone shitty.
Yes.
The Pirates.
The Colorado Rockies.
Don't disrespect the Pirates. Listen, we can disrespect Bob Nutty and them. Don't disrespect the squad, bro.
He had also apparently been spotted filming the Padres dugout in April. But, I don't understand. And honestly, now that makes me think that the only reason Perry got fired was because of this and not because he's bad at his job.
I never thought about that. Wait.
Because you know how we were saying, it makes sense, he's terrible, but why now?
Yeah.
Why'd you do it now?
Oh, fuck, I think
we have our answer.
This actually, I'm actually not even kidding. You might have it. I was so confused when this notification hit my phone 2 days ago. I just look. And I think Ken Rosenthal retweeted it or something, and I see the thing an Angels scout was fired for filming Rockies coaches during this from the stands. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, what?
That is just stunning, man. That's stunning.
There's only so many new sentences that we can make up before I think we've used all of them.
That's like scouting for home run talent, and then you go to scout. You have someone scout Vlad at the Rogers Center this year.
All right. Hey, I don't know, man. I saw this tweet. I don't know if this is true. I didn't bother to go fact check it because I don't really care. I saw this tweet that his last regular season home run at the Rogers Center was August 26th of last year.
Yeah, but it's going to be a full calendar year. We're going to hit that.
And I was saying this the other day to when Sam was at my place. The last this any home run that he's hit at the Rogers Center was ALCS Game 6 against Seattle. And I was like, oh my God.
Maybe Justin will come to Toronto and scout him.
I mean, maybe.
For people that don't know, okay, the pro scouting departments of MLB teams aren't like thousands of people deep. They don't employ endless people. Like, you have to be thoughtful about using your resources. So to send someone to the Colorado Rockies is a choice for sure.
Because, like, there's certain teams where it's like, try to pick up on what's going on here, or whatever, right? Out of all teams, now I don't know if this is the people who told him to do this or if he decided this is the team I'm going to go spy on. The Colorado Rockies. The Colorado Rockies.
It's a choice.
Who are notoriously like one of the worst run and like teams in the league. Like top to bottom.
Paid Nolan Arenado $50 million to not play for them.
To leave.
In his prime.
To leave. Like, that's ridiculous. That's absolutely ridiculous. This is one of the funniest stories ever. Because, number one, of course it's the fucking Angels, right? Number two...
I heard they were scouting how to give players contracts. After the Rendon contract, they want to know how to get down to Chris Bryant level and just steadily go down from there, and then until they get to good contracts.
Yeah, you gotta work your way down there.
Yeah.
You got to work your way down. Is Chris Bryant's the next tier? Who's the next tier after Chris Bryant? So if we're going Anthony Rendon, Chris Bryant, Vlad.
I'm kidding.
Hey man, don't do that to me.
Bobby Bonilla's up next.
Bobby Bonilla, you're still going to be paying him $1 million every year, 25 years after he's retired. Every single year.
The funniest thing is that's like so far down on the list of concerns for the Mets. It's like, I think it's welcomed at this point. I think they'd rather just pay him if it meant other stuff right.
If it meant that if that was the biggest concern that they had, it would be like, actually everything's fine. Because that's a mere $1 million a year. Like, that's nothing. Like,
if it guaranteed them a playoff berth, they would pay him $1 million until the sun goes out.
Right? They would act, and if he tried to withdraw, they'd be like, no. Don't try to do any of that. Don't try to do that. Hey, it's been rough over there. It's been really rough, and
it's shocking. It
really
is.
The rumors are saying that they are entertaining a hard sell, which I can't lie is most definitely the move.
I think you need more than a hard sell. I think you need to sell everything with a pulse. I think you need
or sell the team.
Yeah,
that too.
That isn't like Juan Soto and like some of like the young players like Ewing or Benj.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Like that's kind of
I mean, the unfortunate part is with some of the moves, like for example, Bo Bichette, he has turned it up a bit. The issue is with that contract, it's going to be hard for anyone to want to take that on.
Makes so much money.
I didn't realize. So I thought it was a flat 42 every year. I didn't realize the breakdown until I was looking, preparing for our next segment. So he's only getting $15 million this year. If he does not opt out, he gets $55 million next year and $55 million the year after. Oh my God.
Do you guys remember when, was it both Scherzer and Verlander? I think the Mets gave them $45 a year for 2 years, and this is $10 million more than that.
Yep.
Shocking.
Oh my God. Yeah, this is a rough one. Y'all remember when Bo Bichette got hot in June and there were the reports saying that he's probably going to opt out? He's not fucking opting. Yeah. He's not fucking opting out, man.
How could you possibly make more money on the open market?
Unironically, if he keeps continuing down the road that he's going down, like with how he's been playing this season, and also by the way, like I know he was really good in June. He hasn't been good in July. Like he's kind of back down to where he was. He's been a below average hitter in July. If he keeps playing around like that level and doesn't fucking go like September 2022 Bo Bichette like ape shit mode, like. He unironically would get more next year than he would over the next, like, whatever contract that he would sign this offseason. Like, I'm actually so serious.
The only thing that would make sense in terms of an opt-out would be, like, if he's signing a long-term deal where he's making, like, 25, 30 a year, so the total money is just, is almost guaranteed fully throughout the contract. That's the only way an opt-out would make sense for him.
Yeah, which with
But
all due
even then,
respect, no fucking
if
team is
he's
giving that to him
playing
right now.
and if he's playing better, just take the 55 million or whatever, and then once that contract's up, sign like another like kind of midterm deal for a bunch of money again. So
Yeah.
I don't even think like Artie Moreno would give this guy a long-term deal. Like it's dicey. It's pretty dicey.
See, I wouldn't underestimate Artie Moreno. That's where I draw the line. Is don't underestimate Artie.
This is a
Yeah.
28-year-old that cannot run, who has a batting run value in the negatives.
A pretty rough profile too. It's not gonna age that nice. I can't lie.
Yeah, but at least he doesn't strike out a lot and walks a ton, right?
Who's gonna tell him? Who's
That's what
gonna tell him?
Bobichet's known for, is plate discipline, is he not?
Who's gonna tell him?
To be fair, I feel like even years ago when he was good, like Nick, you and I were talking about the fact that okay, this is a guy whose value at the plate is sort of propped up by his bat speed and the fact that he can foul shit off and get to any pitch. That doesn't age well. Like it never ages well. I don't know. Like
yeah, no, he's a guy who's like this kind of hitter, like unless you have stuff that, really good plate discipline is something that will not go away with age, right?
Yeah.
If your bat speed becomes less and less, if you become more of a pull hitter guy, it's like, you can work with that. That's how like Altuve was as good for as long as he was. Bo Bichette is, with all due respect, not that guy, right?
No.
In his prime, he doesn't have the bat speed to be that guy. He's still like way below average in terms of like bat speed. Like for example, this season, 20th percentile, even in 23 when he was really good. 23rd percentile bat speed. Last year, 12th percentile. Like it's not all that great. Like he's when he's good in his prime, he's providing value. Like, you know what I mean? Like that's undeniable. But when he's 33,
Yeah.
when he's 33, 34, when those cracks start to show, it's gonna look very fucking ugly. And in order to offset that, you need to either have really good plate discipline, you need to be able to pull the baseball enough that you're going to hit for power, or you need to be a really good defensive player and really good base runner. He is none of those things.
no, he's not.
And plus with like all the knee injuries and stuff, he's kind of a ticking time bomb in that aspect. You don't know if the next injury is going to be the one that kind of lingers with him and prevents and really handicaps his game for the rest of his career. Like you just don't know.
I remember.
Hopefully that's not the case, but
I remember when it was the off season and we were doing like our contract bidders and stuff. I think I projected him to get more or less like around like 26 a year for like 7 years or something.
I expected him to get about this money just over another 4 or 5 years,
like 7-8 years, just because he's young. And I remember saying like very well that half this contract it might suck, but you do it just for the first few years, like the first like 4 years or whatever. After that, it's like, oof, it's a rough one. I can't lie. It's
The idea
rough.
of a 3-year deal with opt-outs, just the general principle of it, I'm fine with. But 55 million a year is wow.
Yeah, because
That's a big swing.
Like, it's rough because even if he's like playing really good, let's assume that he's a 3.5, like you want to say 4-win player. Let's assume that. Obviously, in that case, that's good, but you did not have to pay him $55 million.
Let's ask ourselves this: what do you guys think was the next highest bid for Bo Bichette?
So I know that he was apparently he was really close to signing with the Phillies on like a 7-year or give or take $200 million deal.
yes,
Years,
that's
what all the reports were saying. Was like the Mets like swooped in with this like the last minute. So I guess in that sense, you kind of did have to give him that to keep him from winning Philly. But
I do remember that storyline actually.
That like
because it's what like a $75-ish million difference for the 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
So after that contract's done, I guess the idea is that he could easily sign for 4 years, $70 million to make it up.
Yeah,
and also save. So like, I think that's kind of where his head's at. Where it's like, no matter what I do in these 3 years, 2 or 3 years with the Mets, I should be still able to make over $15 million a year, no problem.
I'm kind of thinking about this right now. I never thought about it like this before. Granted, because I never actually bothered to look at like the full breakdown of the year by year of his contracts. So if he was that close to signing, let's say 7-200 with the Phillies. I don't know what the exact numbers are, but they're more or less in that ballpark, right? and he decides to take this Mets deal instead. Like last minute, by the way. He must have never been planning to opt out of either of these years because he's only getting $15 million in the first year. Affects the luxury tax differently, but he is only getting 15 in the first year. Which would have been less per year than he would have gotten if he signed that deal with the Phillies. So honestly, even if he were to get another like long-term offer this offseason, it's why would he do that if he signed this deal when he's
it would have to have been like a career year from him in which he'd be able to commend like a 5 to 7 year deal at like
30 plus a year.
30 plus, yes.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I think it's at. So I think that I think that the opt-outs are just the safety net. Like, okay, if I don't play, to the best of my abilities, at least I know I'll be making this next year. Or if I really play well, I can make more over a long period of time. Like, it would add up.
Yeah.
So that's kind of just what I think is his mindset through that.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that makes sense. But, yeah, man. It's a tough one going on there in Queens, which we're going to talk about a little bit. In sections. I think are we ready for the main meat and potatoes of the episode, fellas?
I think we are.
Yeah.
All right. So we have about what is this? I think let's give or take about 30 or so players, 25 to 30. I didn't really count. Players on this board right here, and we are going to try to predict whether or not they get traded. We are going to try and predict what team they're going to get traded to if we decide that. If we think that they're not going to get traded, we're just going to say, yeah, we don't think they're going to get moved. There's a bunch of names that have been thrown around in the rumor mill on some level. Some of these are, more likely than others. Some of them are surefire. Some of these are like, you've heard it a little bit, but, things would really have to happen for some of these guys to get moved. So we all have our boards here. I think we have pretty much all the information we have, and honestly, we can even do some other players that aren't in this board if we really feel like it. But are we ready to go down the board, ladies and gentlemen?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
The first player that is on the board. This has been one that he was even in the offseason was throwing rumors, but a lot more of a hot body now. C.J. Abrams of the Washington Nationals. I don't think he's getting moved. I don't think it's happening.
No.
I think if you're the Nationals, it would be devastatingly difficult to get back higher value than him in a trade, and for that reason I don't think he's moving. Like, that would be so difficult, man.
Yeah, because the thing is, number one, middle infield with the level of bat that he is really fucking hard to do. I think you have off the top of my head, probably has a case for like the best hitting middle infielder this season. I don't really off the top of my head.
Oh, he's been fantastic.
I don't know who else is in that conversation off the top of my head, but he's the first guy that I would think of that's that plays either of those positions. That's like right there, right? Whether you keep him at short or whether you move him to second, which I think is probably the better move for him. I just don't think he has the range to play shortstop. But with that said, you also got to keep in mind he's got the extra years of control. I think he has 2 more years of control, I believe. Let me double check this to be 100% sure. Yeah, he has 2 more years of arbitration, so you would be trading for 2.5 years worth of what right now is a 900 OPS player. I understand he hasn't been that through his whole career, but keep in mind, number one, the guy's 25 years old. Number two, apparently the Nationals hitting lab is like that. Sam, I don't know if you saw the videos that were coming out of All-Star break. There was this one video where one of the creators is asking a bunch of hitters what the
best
stat they use to evaluate
offensive
themselves.
Stat, yeah.
Yeah, and so, there's a lot of guys saying like OPS, WRC plus, whatever. James Wood, I think, said WRC plus based. C.J. Abrams said, for me, it's my chase rate, because when I'm really chasing, I'm in those funks. Or like when I'm really chasing a lot, that's when I'm in those funks, right? I watched that video and I was like, you know what? The Nats offense makes so much sense now this season. I'm like, this makes so much fucking sense. Like this.
If C.J. Abrams didn't play another game this season, this would still be a career year for him.
It would. It would be a career high in WAR. It'd be a career high in home runs, RBIs, like all of it. Like even like the counting stats, like would have him beat any of the rest of his years. even this year, he's pulling the baseball in the air more than he has in previous years. Like, he's really good. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And the other thing is that the Nationals, like, they're not, like, a great team. Like, you know what? They're okay. But they're not that far out of a postseason spot. And also, like, you know, you have guys that are really young. Maybe, depending on how the rest of the season goes, you try and do some things in the offseason. Load up your pitching side of things. Maybe it happens. Because, like, they have one of the best offenses in the league this season. I'm double checking where it is exactly right now. They are second in WRC plus. They are first in runs scored. Nobody has scored more runs than the Washington Nationals this season, and they are first in homers. You have pretty solid case to say that this is the best lineup in baseball right now. You load up and pitch in the offseason, this team can look really fucking nice. And a big part of that is CJ Abrams sticking around. I don't think it's the move to get him up out of here. Personally, and I don't think it's going to happen because I think that package would have to be ridiculous.
And these are the types of trades that I think handicap teams' futures because they think, okay, because he has the highest value, he's playing well, and we're not trying to win this year, we should move him. But there's no need. He's only 25 years old, like you said, has team control. And for a team that's looking to kind of get back to where they were in the, you know, later half of the 2010s where they were competing and won a World Series, keeping a guy like Abrams is, you know, necessary.
If I'm the Nationals, I'm trying to get him on one of those extensions. Try to buy out maybe 3-4 years of his legacy, if I can. That's what I'm trying to do. Sign him till he's like 32, 33, 34, whatever the number is that it has to be done. I think that's like perfect because you have him and James Wood. If they keep Luis Garcia too, I know he's been another guy that's been thrown around in rumors. We'll get to him later, but you know, I just think it's gonna be really tough to match the ask. That's what I think. Next up, this one's a lot more likely. Luis Arias. Is there I feel like there's a team that just is like perfect for him.
So
I know what you're gonna say.
When I was going through, you know, trying to see where I would place everyone, I wasn't sure about Arias, and then I looked at yours and what you put down for him, and I was like, you know what, absolutely, like that's the team.
I was like, okay, so the way that I did, the first thing that I did was like, who do I think is not getting traded? That was what I ruled out first, and then I was like, all right, what are people throwing around? And then I was like, okay, where does this guy fit? Who's been playing here for this team? Blah blah blah. And then it hit me, and then I was looking at where people were saying like Arias is gonna fit, and I'm like, oh yeah, of fucking course. And I looked, and I think they're playing like a lot of mostly like Richie Palacios at second base these days, and I'm like, yeah,
I think that makes a lot of sense.
I'm not even gonna like I didn't even think twice about it. I do think that there are some other teams that could work kind of well. I think if people were throwing around the Yankees, I don't really know about the fit on that one. Ironically, I think Minnesota is a team that like he could go back to if they decide to buy. I think like maybe Milwaukee if you can figure out the positional fit. I think it'd be a little weird, but
I went a bit of a different route than you though, to be honest.
What'd you say?
I said Texas.
Okay.
They're first in the division with a 500 record. They're looking to make a push. I could see them being more aggressive than Tampa for the reason that one, Tampa isn't really one of those teams that seem to sell the farm to get a guy. Not saying Arias is a guy you sell the farm for, or he will, but it just doesn't seem like the Rays necessarily go after big fish. So I think a team like the Rangers will see a guy like Arias. They have currently Nicky Lopez in that in the second base spot, and he's fine, but he brings a lot like that Arias does this year.
Mm-hmm.
That I think that's an upgrade that I would think would be good for a team like them because they have some of the worst positional value at second base over the course of the season in terms of WAR. So a team that could use a guy like Arias would be Tampa Bay, obviously. Like you said, I think it's a good fit, but I don't know. I just come back to Texas when I'm looking at that, and I just think that he can be someone they add to that lineup that's trying to make a, you know, playoff push, division push, and just add a guy who's been good defensively and obviously
Crazy to say,
that
by the way.
contact that. Yes, I
Crazy to
didn't
say.
think I'd ever be saying that.
I never
And a
thought I'd
good
be
base
saying that in my
runner too,
life. Luis
apparently.
Arraez is good defensively. I never thought I'd be saying that.
And a good base runner. So
Insanely good at both right now, which is like ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know, because like the thing with the Rays, you're
some
right.
Freaky Friday shit.
The Rays typically don't go out and get like those big guys. Every now and again they'll do it. You know what I mean? Like every once in a while they will do it. Like you remember when they got like
Yeah.
Nelson? What was the year they got like Nelson Cruz? Was it 21?
That was, I think so. Yeah,
Something like that. Or something like that. They traded
yeah,
him at the
because
deadline.
that was the Joe Ryan trade.
Oh fuck! I forgot about that. That's where they got Joe Ryan. Oh my god, Tampa. But like,
It's rare they make a bad trade like that.
it happens. It happens. You know, everyone misses a shot every now and again. You know, it is what it is. But like the thing is, it's mainly just because like Arraez isn't expiring. You know what I mean? Like he's a rental. You're gonna have him for 2 months guaranteed.
That's also why I think that a team like Texas would make more sense, because that's an older team who's trying to do something now versus where Tampa Bay has a bunch of younger guys and they're
True.
not relying on, the guys who are making a ton of money and the guys who are up there in age to produce for them to have success.
That's fair. That's fair. I just think because he's expiring, the Rays won't have to give up as much.
Yeah,
Depending on
that
how
too.
aggressive they want to be, I have no idea.
Yeah.
There's been reports that they want to be more aggressive, but like, regardless of where he goes, Tampa Bay, Texas, whoever else, right? He's not going to cost like that much. Like,
No.
No.
You know what I mean? Just because, like, number one, his track record over the past like couple of years isn't really quite there compared to like his Minnesota years, and I mean, obviously this year he's been better, but like again, rental, right? The tools aren't typically have not been as great, but you know what I mean? Again, the big one is rental. Rental. I'm not giving up everything for a guy who's going to be here for 2 months.
Yeah.
If I can't guarantee he's going to be here longer. Next up, though, is someone who fits in the opposite category. You'd be paying for him to be there for a few years. And that is Reed Detmers. I'd seen this one thrown around a bit. I don't know if you guys remember. Actually, Ethan, I think we talked about this on one of the episodes like a while ago. Sam, I don't know if I ever told you this, but there was the one report that if he gets traded this deadline, that Reed Detmers could probably net more in a trade than Tarek Skubal, which makes sense when you consider the fact that he has just more years. He's younger, he's really good, right?
And the fact that Scubal's going to get traded for nothing because he's just not going to get traded.
We'll get to that in a second. The Detmers one is interesting because there's some crazy nice fits here. Listen, Reed Detmers for the White Sox is kind of cold. I can't lie. That's kind of sexy.
I like that.
Even like to the Cardinals, I think is kind of sexy. But like,
I also like that.
You got to keep in mind again with the extra control, he has the same control as Abrams, and he's still pretty fucking good. It's a big price, and how much are teams going to be willing to do that, right? More so, the question is, how much faith do you have in the Angels to capitalize? That's the bigger question. And honestly, that's what drove my prediction more than anything else. What were you guys saying on Mr. Reed Detmers?
All right, Ethan.
I think a team like the Cubs can make a play.
Yeah, they need starting pitching. They desperately need it.
Yeah, and there are some prospects they have that I could for sure see get moved. Obviously, I'm not going to suggest they trade, Ballesteros or something, but Calvin Alcantara probably could be a good starting point. And then obviously whatever else they want. I mean, I'm sure you can figure that one out, but I don't think it's gonna cost them their top couple prospects. I think you could definitely get it done for just one of their top prospects, and then just kind of like some other well-rounded that the Angels might be high on, and then maybe even like another like a major league level player if they're young enough.
Yeah, I think that could definitely work. They're gonna need not just arms; they need young arms in there. Because, like, when you look at the Cubs rotation, what it is even right now, you're looking at, like, Shota Imanago, who's been, like, okay. Matt Boyd has taken a big step back this season.
Yeah.
Like, Jamison Tyone is running out regular starts for you, and he sucked. Ben Brown's on the injured list right now. I think he's going to start a rehab assignment relatively soon. But like he's been like the only guy who's been like good for you in the rotation this year. Like
Yeah, I
they
mean,
need
Edward
starting
Cabrera,
pitching.
you brought in to be that guy, a front end of the rotation
And
guy, and
he's
unfortunately, he
sucked.
just hasn't been that.
He's stunk. He's been bad. Do not go back and look at who my dark horse Cy Young candidate was in the NL. Do not.
Don't look at who my
do it.
regular pick was, please.
Nobody do that. Not a single one of you.
No, my actual pick is worse than your dark horse pick. That's for sure.
Oh my god, man. It's
for those who don't remember, I chose I don't even want to say it, but Freddie Peralta.
Ooh. Oh, we're getting cooked right now.
On the bright side, my AL choice is looking pretty nice.
What was your AL one? Oh,
It was
that's right. It
Cease.
was Cease. You said it was Cease.
Yeah,
Man.
I think you might make up fine on that one.
You might. You would probably do well as a
Almost,
betting man.
almost looking like a top 3 spots locked in. So almost like as of right now, it is.
If it ends
obviously
today, he ends.
injuries
If it ends today,
Yes.
he ends at the worst. He ends at second.
probably second. Yeah.
I would think they probably give it. He probably doesn't get it. Schlittler gets it if it ends right now. But
Yeah, Yankee bias. Kidding.
Schlittler's
kidding.
kind of okay.
No, I was just
I know some would say that he's good. Some people
Some would say
Yeah,
that
but,
he's a pitcher. Some would
He
say.
throws fastballs too much for me to consider him the Cy Young
he
winner.
trolls too much on
What
Twitter.
what really differentiates Cam Schlittler from Lance Lynn?
Yeah. Other
They
than
both
other
only
than the
throw fastballs.
pinstripes. The pinstripes are the difference there.
Well, you say that, but Lance Lynn was also a Yankee.
I know, but I'm saying like now.
Oh, I guess, yeah. This is some generational agenda pushing we're doing right now. This is some generational agenda pushing. Yeah, you said the Cubs. Sam, what were you saying on Mr. Reed?
I don't have him moving. Not that I don't
Yeah.
think it's reasonable for him to move. I think teams like the Cubs, like you guys said, that need starting pitching would definitely be interested. Reed Detmers just doesn't move me all that much. Like he's definitely a good pitcher. He's definitely has a track record of having really good moments. He hasn't put together a season yet that makes that's eye popping. I would say he's gotten a little bit unlucky based on the underlying stuff this year, but I don't think he's the foremost starting pitcher trade trip on his team even. So we'll get into that later.
Well, to be fair, that other guy is also really fucking insanely good.
Yeah.
To be totally fair. Yeah, I also don't think he's going to move. I do think that I don't think that him not having one of those like really good seasons that looks like those seasons that look really good like on the surface level, I don't think that's going to hurt his value that much, to be honest with you, because I think teams are way more willing to look at the the under the hood stuff, the underlying stuff, just identify just strictly the talent and take a bet on that instead of like the other stuff. You know what I mean? So I think obviously I still think his value is like really high. He's really good. He has the multiple years of control. Those are the big things for me. I also do not have faith that LA is going to trade anyone who is not on an expiring deal. I can't lie. I don't have any faith in the world at all. I know Perry Mayson's out of here, but it's still Artie Moreno up there.
How much faith do you have that they could win a Reed Detmers trade in terms of value brought back?
Not that much. What I think would happen realistically if he got traded, what I think is probably going to happen, they're going to say that, yeah, they're listening to offers on him. Whatever. Light. Who cares, right? But what I think it's going to be that, but they're going to set the bar like absurdly high. Like as if teams were trading for Tarek Skubal with 3 years of control left. I think that's what's happening over there because the Angels like to go and fuck shit. Do I have anything that backs that up? Absolutely not. I'm just going based off vibes right here. I don't have any ins or nothing. But I'm just going based off vibes because it's the Angels, and they kind of don't be the greatest managed team.
They kind of don't.
They kind of don't. They kind of don't be doing that. We'll go on to the next guy. Arguably the main character... No, not arguably. The main character of the trade deadline. Tarek Skubal. there's been a lot of conflicting stuff on Tigers listening for this, and the Tarek Skubal was apparently telling people he wants to stay in Detroit. Actually, I think very recently, like literally today or yesterday, like he sort of came out and said he wants to stay. But there's a lot of things going the other way. Sam, we'll start with you on this one. What do you got?
Yeah, so you can see on my board that I have the Dodgers. We'll get into it. I know you just said that he publicly stated in the last few days that he wants to stay in Detroit.
But that don't
Earlier
shit.
on this,
To be fair,
earlier on
shit.
in the season, that's not what I was hearing at all. Maybe something has changed. Maybe he's just posturing. Maybe he whatever you want to say. That's not what I was hearing early on in the season. I thought that the narrative, at least, was that he wasn't going to resign Detroit. Could that narrative be wrong? Absolutely. Maybe he resigns. I don't know, but I think that Skubal to the Dodgers is, first of all, financially viable for the Dodgers because what's another, however much more money he's owed this year. I don't think they care about that at this point.
Yeah, whatever the
I think
math is.
that's, yeah. I mean, I think Eric Lauer out, Tarek Skubal in is a pretty big upgrade on your left-handed starter in your rotation.
Hey, man.
Hey, Eric Lauer's been okay there.
He's been good. He's been like really good for them. It's stupid.
But yeah, Glasnow is injured. Sasaki.
Otani's probably not going to be pitching for the next little bit.
Yeah, Sasaki hasn't been the guy that they want him to be in the rotation. So I think that makes sense for the Dodgers. And yeah, I mean, obviously there's other teams that could pay for him, but I think we mentioned earlier that, even though it's Tarek Skubal, I don't think that asking price is going to be, whatever you want to say, Juan Soto level, because, he's on expiring deal. So yeah, that's my take on it.
He's gonna net some, decent level of return, especially because I feel like the higher end rentals are going for more these days than they used to.
Sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe that's just me, but like I heard that the I literally scrolled by it today. I didn't fucking save it. I'm going off the dome here, but apparently, oh, never mind, I found it. They would consider trading him for a starter and like other prospects too. So yeah, they would be trying to keep their ability to compete in the future, which at that point I would just fucking say extend the guy. But
yeah, we're talking about trading him. I think extending him makes astronomically more sense.
I would agree.
Yeah.
Ethan, what do you got for Mr. Tarek Skubal here?
I feel like if they were actually going to trade him, they would have already. I feel like there's no point in waiting until now because you would have had enough clarity. I also think a team's not going to trade for him without, at the very least, hope that they can re-sign him, which already takes out a lot of teams because, let's be real. There are teams that could use pitchers, but then you just know they're not going to pay, that premium, a premium price for a guy they're not going to extend. So I think that in itself would take teams out of it. And it's just, I don't know, there's too much smoke around him staying for me to say that he's going to leave. It's just, like I said, it would make so much more sense if they would have traded him in the offseason where it's like, okay, you're getting the full season of him. Why would a team trade positive assets for a guy where there's a chance that they could just get him for free in the sense of just, giving him the contract? Because if he was serious about re-signing with the Tigers, that would happen regardless. It wouldn't, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That is something where if he stays with them till the end of the season, goes into the offseason, without a new contract, if they were planning on re-signing him, they'd still re-sign him then.
I think the main thing with that, though, you remember the big that was reported, like they were like way far off in the extension.
Yeah.
Like, they were like at least like 150 million. I think honestly it might have been more than that, like apart. I think that was the big thing. Less than like, I don't want to give him this or whatever. Because you remember he won the first Cy Young, and then they offered him like 4 years, 80.
Yes, but at the same time, that could also be like them trying to get get him for as little as possible, and then it's like, okay, we're not going to be able to get him for undervalue, so we'll give him the contract he wants now that he's a free agent. So I could kind of see both things. I don't think it's impossible for him to re-sign. I don't think it's impossible for him to want to stay. I mean, especially with the reports that are coming out, but I don't know. I just feel like trading him now doesn't really make sense for both them and the teams trying to trade for him. You're getting it because, like I said, if it's a team that's that's probably not gonna re-sign him, why would you want a pitcher for like a month and a half of the season, 2 months at most, where it's like, he needs to get over. It could be a bit of a culture shock. Like, yes, he's a professional, but at the same time, it's just there's so much mentality that goes into it that like I just don't know if it makes sense for a team to want to empty them unless they're they know they'll have a good chance of re-signing them. That is like the Dodgers, obviously.
Yeah, like they would have probably like one of the better shots because like I also don't think he's getting traded. Like I think there's too much smoke around him.
Yeah.
Staying. Also, I think the Tigers are gonna try to continue competing. They have, which
yes.
in all fairness, they have been one of the league's best teams like since the start of June. They have the third best record in baseball since then. They're still under 500. They're still a bit out of a playoff spot, but I think that's what they're rationalizing to themselves. I do agree that honestly, I think if you're not going to trade him, you should have just already re-signed him by this point. I don't know how much faith I have that they will. This is not the first time I've said this, but I'm really worried that for them, this is going to turn into like what the Angels did with Ohtani in his free agent year, where they tried and then they even bought at the deadline when they weren't good, and then they sucked, and then everyone that they bought continued to suck, and then they fucking just lost them for nothing.
I think they're going to do a soft buy Detroit where it's going to be like, all right, let's get some guys who are, maybe under contract for another year or maybe are expiring just to kind of see what we have here. Guys that we're not going to be, empty in the bank for, but guys that are able to make this team better now and, add on to the core we already have to hopefully make the playoffs and go on a run.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I think there's so much, like, just behind them just not wanting to trade him that I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen. Whether or not I think that is or not the correct move, I think that realistically, because if you lose a player like this for nothing, that's the kind of move that can really, like, fuck your franchise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because either you are now without the top-level talent or you are without the return that would very much change your future. So,
yeah.
Just don't... I don't know what they're going to try. I just hope they don't fucking lose him for nothing. I hope they don't lose him for nothing. The next name on our board is Foster Griffin. Ethan, I'll let you take this one first.
Yeah, I mean, cheap, not going to cost a lot in terms of actual payroll. So, for a team that needs a pitcher, to me, that kind of screams Milwaukee.
Yeah, I think that's a team that very well fits. The other thing, too, that's really nice, we've said this a lot, we're going to continue to say it, expiring contract. Not going to cost all that whole much.
Yeah.
No, you're not putting yourself in a long-term commitment with a guy who's 30 and, he's switching overseas and then he's back, he's building up, whatever. I think Milwaukee makes sense.
This is what Cody Ponce was supposed to be, man. Damn it!
Dude. Don't even, bro.
Where was this Foster Griffin in 2022, by the way?
That's a great question.
That is a great question.
That's a wonderful question, actually. Sam, what do you got for Mr. Foster Griffin here?
So I put down Miami, I think, because I think if I'm Miami, I like a soft buy this year. You have some good pieces. I don't think there's enough there to obviously go all in. That would be excessive. But you have good pieces. You have guys having good seasons. You're above 500, albeit in a tough division, in a tough league. I think Foster Griffin could be a guy that solidifies the rotation for them. Just a little soft buy. See what you can do this year. I think getting into a wild card spot is a win for them.
Yeah.
And I think Miami, again, Foster Griffin is cheap, expiring deal. He's, Miami is never going to go out and make the big splash, at least very, very rarely that they ever do that, and certainly not in a while, I don't think. So, it screams Foster Griffin screams soft buy to me. He has been fantastic this year, but he's not, the biggest name out there. The underlying stuff looks good, and Miami needs pitching, so yeah.
The team I had from was Houston. So Houston has obviously it's not a secret. They've been better as of late. They're 3.5 games out of the wild card spot, right? Overall for the season, they've been like a solid-ish offensive team, around the realm of top 10. But their pitching sucks. Their pitching is terrible right now.
Stinks.
It is absolutely no secret. For the season, Houston starters are 28th in earned run average. Do you want to guess what this number is? This ERA for the season from Houston starters?
I will guess 5.20.
You are insanely close. It's
Am I?
5.16.
Let's go, dog.
It's
Oh my gosh.
bleak. The only teams whose starters have been worse this season are the Athletics and the Rockies. That's it. Only teams.
Not bad.
That's not a conversation you want to be in.
That is not a conversation you want to be in. I don't know how they're
And honestly, after hearing that, it makes sense why the Angels would want to spy on the Rockies.
You know what? I see y'all. I see you guys now. We're gonna play a game. Guess how many good starters the Astros have.
Is it one?
Is it 0?
If you like Peter Lambert, the answer is 1. If not, the answer is 0. Like Arrighetti is not that good. Ime has not been good at all this season. Mike Burrows has been giving you regular starts this season. He's been really fucking bad. Like, it is no secret. This rotation sucks. This rotation is terrible.
Hear me out. Does Alek Manoah fix their problems?
Out of the 5... Shut up. Shut up, bro. Out of the 5 starters this season who have given you more than 10... Sorry, out of the 5 pitchers this season who have given you more than 10 starts, or 10 starts or more, excuse me, you have 0 with a FIP of 4 or less. And you have 1 with a FIP lower than 4.7.
Shocking.
That is awful. Like, terrible.
I'm going to say a nice thing about Peter Lambert, and I'm going to say a mean thing about Peter Lambert.
Let's hear it.
The nice thing is that on MLB The Show 2020, for some reason in my, franchise saves or in Road to the Show, Peter Lambert is just an actual god. Like,
if that's the nice thing, I don't want to hear the mean thing. I'm scared.
I'm actually kind of worried.
Like, he'll make the Hall of
scared.
Fame.
Damn.
It happens regularly where Peter Lambert is a guy you want to pick up in that game.
Damn.
The mean thing is that the ERA looks nice and basically nothing else.
Yeah. Like, under the hood, this is like a 3-starter, realistically.
Yes.
And
The nice thing I'll say, he's an attractive individual. He's got
He's a
back
good looking
for him.
guy.
He's a good
Yeah.
guy. Yeah, like, listen.
I'd let him date my daughter.
As a man, I can say objectively that this is, a solid looking fellow. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This guy came home with my daughter. I'd be like, you got
Dude,
it.
if imagine you're an Astros fan and this is what you're hearing about your team's rotation. Peter Lambert's pretty good looking.
He's at least a solid looking man. Maybe that adds some trade value. I don't know. Maybe like the GM's daughter needs something. I don't know.
Insane.
But yeah, like, if you're Houston, besides Peter Lambert, you don't have any good fucking starters this season. They all suck. Anyone else has given you any amount of starts. Like, Hunter Brown, talent is good, but he's been injured, like, all season pretty much, right?
Yeah, but Ronel Blanco threw a no-hitter, so...
He only, like... like, all right, man.
Okay.
Like,
I don't know. Yeah.
Like Hunter Brown, like, only, like, relatively recently came back from an injury, like, within the last little bit, and he hasn't really been that great since he came off the IL. Besides that, guys who've been giving you starts at all this season, like, obviously they traded McCullers. I mean, it's not like he was good. In Christian Javier's 4 starts, his ERA is very similar to, like, one of the GTA area codes.
Yeah.
Like, it's rough.
Hopefully it's not like the, like the Mississauga Thornhill region.
It's the one that my phone number is. It's really close to that. If y'all remember. Listen, if
that's
it was
the one I feared.
If it was, yeah, but it's that one. It's 930. It's 937. That's his ERA. Tough one. But yeah, no, their rotation stinks, and they need a starter. I think Foster Griffin, he fits well. It's an older team, so it's not like they're hard committing, like their future.
Well, actually, after seeing the rotation, how bad these pitchers are, I don't think he fits well with them at all.
Well, sorry, you're right. He doesn't fit well with those pitchers because he's good. But he fits well with the rest of the team because
Yeah,
that makes the rest of the team better. There we go. That's a solid.
dude. I mean, imagine like you go from being out of the league, being pretty much the options are I either go to Japan or I don't play baseball anymore. To I'm the best pitcher on my team.
By a long
in
shot.
The majors.
By a long shot. By the way, if he goes to Houston, like it's not close. Because nobody
Such
else.
a funny sport,
like
man.
almost
I love
no pitcher on that team is good. Like they have some good relievers. I'll put that there. Obviously Josh Hader. Steve Roker,
Josh Hader.
That's kind of
That's
where
about it. But
they traded Nate Pearson, which all right, I guess they traded him to Kansas City. Not that matters. But yeah, it's not looking very pretty for the Astros pitchers. So I think Foster Griffin would make sense. Next one is a big one. So there's been a lot of chatter about is this guy going to get traded? There's growing belief. That's what the reports are saying, that he is in fact going to get moved. Who knows if that ends up being the case? Especially considering how crazy this was last deadline.
yeah.
Mason Miller. Mason fucking Miller. Now, I think him being traded hinges on two things. Number one, what is the package going to look like? Because we know what the other Mason Miller package was. It was what was DeVries, the third best prospect in baseball? Was he third? Or was he second? What was he? He was something like that.
I couldn't tell you that.
I thought it was because I'm pretty sure still the only actual number one prospect to be traded, I want to say, is Moncada.
Yeah, well, it would have been 2 or 3. I was between those. I don't think it was number one, because I think who was number one? Probably Connor Griffin, right? Or was he number one by the deadline? I don't remember.
Let's see.
I don't know what it would have been, but regardless, he was one of the top 3 prospects in baseball at minimum. I don't remember where he ranked, and then other stuff was in there too. So now the question kind of is, what's the package for him now? Because now you're down an extra year of control, right? He has, I think, 28, 29, 30, and 27. No, sorry. He has 3 years left to control. 3.5 if he gets traded at the deadline. Which obviously is a lot, and he's, the best reliever in the league. I don't think anyone's going to argue with you there. Shout out my guy Lou Dog, though. And also just, is AJ Preller willing to do all that? Because this man likes to go all the way in. Literally all the time.
That's the thing. Any other team makes the trade for Mason Miller, I'm saying there's no way they're flipping him already. There's just, with how many things that Preller can possibly do in terms of, getting crazy, I wouldn't put it past him, but overall, I think it's unlikely he gets moved just for the sole reason he has a lot of team control left. So it's not oh, this season's a bust, let's just sell off. And it's also hey, we just traded our top prospect for him. I don't think it makes sense for us to flip it if we're not going to get anywhere near the same value back. So unless a team's willing to, which is true about any player via trade, unless a team's willing to heavily overpay, I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's a pressing need right now, this deadline, for them to trade him at all. Yeah, he's under team control. They just traded for him. Yes, the Padres are kind of a mid-aging team. Not really that good, but they're not egregious, right? It's not out of the question that they could challenge for a wild card berth next season at all. That's not ridiculous.
Especially if
I don't think
Fernando Tatis decides to hit a home run before May 31st.
Has more home runs than Vladdy, by the way.
I mean,
he has the longest home run of the season by anybody.
It's not even crazy to see them make the playoffs this year, too. I mean,
Yeah.
they're still, a game back or 2 games back. So
Yeah.
it's I don't understand the need to trade. There's a lockdown closer who it seems like every single time they are, he comes into the game, it's basically over. Like, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't
It's
think it makes
automatic.
any. Yeah.
There
There's a
is
sorry, go ahead.
no pitcher in the league that I am
No, I
scared
agree.
more of
Yeah.
facing. I there is only 20 pitchers in the league that have a higher, now granted, WAR for pitchers, I know, that have a higher WAR than Mason Miller. I did not say starters. I did not say relievers. I said pitchers. I mean everybody. Like, some of the names that Mason Miller has been more valuable than. And keep in mind, only 41 innings. Let's start. All right, man. All right. Let's start with some of the names, all right? Drew Rasmussen, Jacob deGrom, George Kirby, Joe Ryan, Max Meyer, like, Tarek Skubal. I understand WAR for pitchers is not the greatest thing, but like, there's levels. You know what I mean? There's levels.
There's good relievers, and then there's a tier above that where it's just automatic. And Mason Miller is that guy.
That's
Like
him.
if you're painting 104 on the black, there's absolutely nothing anyone is ever going to be able to do.
This is a guy who we were literally, Ethan, we were on the podcast, and the podcast saying, is this the single greatest pitch of all time? Fucking guy hit 104.
The one against the Cubs. Oh
Yeah.
my god, that was just...
Guy hit 104 directly on the corner. Like, that is not hittable.
There's nothing you can do.
I don't
automatic.
think Christ could hit that pitch.
There's just a certain caliber of guy that's in this conversation, and you have to concede that they're automatic. Like roided up Eric Gagne, Zach Britton, the year that Buck Showalter fucked everything up.
And honestly,
Like,
Mason Miller's better than those guys.
That's another thing.
He is like, yeah.
I don't care if it's a guy who comes in and pitches like one inning whenever he comes in. At the end of the day, what are you gonna get in this trade package that's gonna be more valuable than an almost automatic? Like basically, you're basically given the gift of only having to play 8 innings of baseball.
Literally, like you there's an extra inning that you don't have to play, pretty much.
Yeah.
Because this guy, when he comes into the game, 99 times out of 100, that game is done. That game is over. Padres win, right?
Yeah.
And if you want to keep the game where it's at, great. That game is staying where the fuck it's at. Motherfuckers are not scoring off of him. His FIP is 0.51. 0.51. Do we understand how crazy that is?
He is not allowed a home run this year.
Zero. There are as many Vladimir Guerrero Jr. home runs at the Rogers Center as there are home runs off of Mason Miller this season. Do we understand how crazy that is?
Do you want to know what else is crazy?
What?
Esmeralda Valdez has more home runs at the Rogers Center than Vlad does this year.
Alright. I mean, man.
He played 3 games there in his debut. He debuted in Toronto and he has more. Like, what?
Some would say it's getting to a point.
Some would say it's getting to a point. Some would say it's like at a point already. Like it's
Some would
already
say
gotten to
we passed the point like 4 months ago. But yeah.
Some would say we've been way past the point. But, it is what it is. But yeah, I don't think it makes much sense for Mason Miller to get traded. We'll move on to the next guy. This is another one that I think this one's a long shot. Hunter Goodman. I don't think he's going to move.
agree.
I think this.
I don't have him moving.
Yeah, I think this is another one where you need to give up a haul for him because this is, he's the best hitting catcher in baseball probably, off the top of my head. I don't think of anyone that is currently in 2026 better than him in that department, unless there's a very obvious one that I'm forgetting about, right?
No, I think this is the guy.
Right? The other thing is, what's crazy is he's an anti-Coors merchant.
He might be the most ethical ball player there is.
He's an anti-Coors merchant. Sam, do you want to guess what his numbers are at Coors versus what they are on the road?
Sure. I will say that I'll do counting stats because it's easier.
Yeah, sure.
I will say that I see that he has a total of 31 home runs in the year. I will say that he has 11 at Coors, and 20 on the road.
Very close. 13 and 18.
Okay.
18 on the road, 13 at home. His
home WRC plus is 92. It's 156 on the road. What the?
like actually
Holy
the
shit.
reverse, like the anti-Coors merchant.
That's very ethical. He's right.
Like ridiculously ethical ball player. 964 OPS on the road. This guy's slugging 619 on the road. Get him away from Coors. Like, I'm actually so serious.
This guy's on pace for like 50 home runs.
Hey, I'm so glad I have this guy in fantasy. I'm so glad
Same.
I'm so glad that Justin didn't do Cal Raleigh for Crochet and Goodman. I'm so happy he didn't do that earlier in the season. Thank God he said no. He saved my ass. I would be cooked.
Yeah, I did not get that lucky as I took Cal Raleigh in the first round of my league where it's home runs only for hitters. So
Ooh, that is in fact.
It was like the 8th pick or something. Can't really fault me for that pick, to be fair.
Can't. No, you absolutely
you
can't.
can't.
Like that's
No, you
that's the
can't.
correct pick. It's so funny because
But,
every now and
yeah.
again I'll just check my phone and I'll get the notification from the fantasy app. Home run by Hunter Goodman. Another hour later, home run from Hunter Goodman. I go, okay. Another hour later, home run from Hunter. I'm like, Jesus fuck. Like,
And when you see the first one, it's like, oh, okay, they're on the road, I guess.
yeah, they're on the road. They're
Yeah, but
absolutely
no,
on the
it's
road.
funny with Cal Raleigh because every year since 23, I kept saying, oh, he's going to regress. He's going to be terrible. He's going to be terrible. Then finally, he hits 60 home runs. And then it's like, okay, maybe he's just actually really good. I know he's not going to hit 60 again, but I could count him for 30. And then I take him, and then it's like, oh, no, now he decides to regress.
It's so funny because a lot of people, you know, we all said before the season, if he's a 5-win player, you take it a run. 5.5, 6-win player, you take it a run. That's like a 3.5 win regression.
It's not a secret to anybody that he wasn't going to replicate 60 home runs.
Yeah, obviously not.
But I 100% thought he'd be good for 30, 35. Minimum. I thought he'd be good for that.
I thought he'd be good
You like
for
35. You like 35 after 60.
I thought
That's
he'd be good for like an 800 OPS. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
700s, low
because
800s.
he was somebody who was putting up like 750 plus like the past couple of years before last year. So I thought a good baseline for sure was like 775, 780 minimum, and then
people just are now coming out and saying that he's just, you know, it was one fluke year, as if he wasn't the best catcher in baseball for 3 straight years before that. And I'm like, where were you guys when he was posting like mid to high 700 OPS numbers?
He had 124 home runs in a 3-year stretch as a catcher. Like, come on.
Yeah, even the two. Yeah, he hit 30 and 34 home runs the 2 years before that he hit the 60. Like, this guy wasn't just. This guy's not.
It's not like it was that's how you could tell a casual fan. Oh, look at Cal Raleigh, his first good season. Oh, look at what he's doing, one and done guy. Like,
absolutely.
no.
The guy had pair 4-win seasons, a 5.5 win season. I think one of those he won Platinum Glove. I'm pretty sure, right? Something like that.
Yes,
he was
did.
crazy.
20.
Was it 4?
24, I want to say. Yeah.
Something like that. One of those years he won it. He's crazy. But yeah, the Hunter Goodman combo not getting traded. Although there are some teams that he would fit like ridiculously well on. Unfortunately, one of those teams is the New York Yankees. So that part makes me very glad that he's not getting traded.
I can think of a team that he'd fit great on too.
What's the team?
The Padres.
Actually, yeah. You know who would also fit
same thing every year. They need a catcher. So
you know who would fit really well there?
Who?
Brandon Valenzuela.
Valenzuela from Miller 1-for-1. Who says no?
Hey man, I'm down.
Someone arrest AJ Preller.
I'm down, bro. AJ Preller, let's work.
AJ Preller might be like the most electric GM because he'll just make the biggest, most fun trades. Half the time they work out terribly, but they're still fun.
I still maintain that even if he loses a lot of these trades in like just strict value, I actually like I can't not respect the shit out of him.
Yeah.
Because like this is the mentality that you want out of like a GM on a contending team. Like you want to go fucking all in, right?
Yeah.
And he does that routinely. And you know, even again, I have made it very clear my stance on AJ Preller. Like he's not the greatest, but I respect the fuck out of him. So, it is what it is. Next player, Luke Weaver. So, no secret. The Mets are pretty much hard selling. Hard selling everything that isn't Soto and, they're really young players like McLean, Ewing, Benj, those guys. Everybody else is apparently on the table. I think that honestly one of the most attractive pieces is Luke Weaver. I think that there's a lot of teams that, every year they're going to be looking for bullpen arms. I think that this is a guy who kind of makes sense to trade. I think he'd have really high value. He has another year left. You can retain money and potentially get even more back. And you know what team I think would be kind of sick for him to go to? The Pittsburgh Pirates. I think that's it.
That's exactly what I had, because I
think
thought,
that's a banger.
I was sure before this win streak that Chapman was going to be made available and they would have a reunion there.
Yup. If I made the sheet 2 weeks prior, Chapman would have been on there. Sonny Gray would have been on there. Probably even like Garrett Whitlock would have been on there. But nope, they decided to win 15 games in a row.
I like the Pirates. I'm going to say the state of Pennsylvania, though, because the Phillies also could use another like high leverage guy.
True.
And they've been
Brad
vocal about
Keller's
that.
out
So,
now.
yeah, I'm going to just say the state of Pennsylvania, whether it's the Pirates or the Phillies. I think one of them makes the move
The state
to get it done. The state gets them.
The state is getting. So does that mean like, okay, if the state gets him, does he like split his games between the two? Do they get joint custody?
Sure, yeah.
Like every second day it rotates, or every
No,
day
but it, yeah, I mean, why not?
week by week basis.
Like, remember how Sir Anthony Dominguez pitched? Like, he was in the doubleheader, he switched teams. Like, that's what it's like. It's like,
Oh my god, I forgot that was during a doubleheader.
1 p.m. game. Hold on, let me pitch for the Pirates. Oh, I gotta go to Sunday Night Baseball in Philly. Yeah, hold on, let me just make the drive.
That would be kind of cool.
But no, obviously, meaning I do think that it's one of the two teams, either the Pirates or the Phillies, that end up trading for his talents.
Yeah, Sam, what do you got for Mr. Luke Weaver?
So I didn't even put a team. I know it says I put the Mets. I didn't even put a team because I don't think there's any bullpen in baseball that can't make room for a 2-WAR reliever at this point in the season. So I just had no idea where to go with it. I think Pennsylvania makes sense to me, but I was lost with this one. Not gonna lie, like. I don't think there's a contender in baseball that can't make room for bullpen for Luke Weaver.
That's why it's so hard for some of these relievers, especially because you could look at any team that's either in a playoff spot or within like 5 games of a playoff spot, and they automatically make that team better, and it makes sense for the team to make. It's really hard to map these out.
And I like you brought up the possibility of retaining. I think that would be fantastic for the return.
Because that's kind of what they did with like Verlander.
Yeah.
When they traded him a few years ago. I think they did the same thing.
And the Mets are not a team that's shy, like that's short on money and shy, shy away from spending. So
absolutely not. Yeah. Absolutely not. Another team that I think would be kind of solid for them. I think the Marlins wouldn't be a bad fit either. I think low key, if you want to have fun, I think if they decide to like kind of buy a little bit, I think the Nationals would be a fun team for him to go to. I don't think they would. I don't know if they would do that, but that would actually be really fucking good for them.
No, that would be. I mean, they clearly need a high leverage reliever. So.
Oh my god, yeah, they need that.
They probably would prefer not to trade him in division if they had a choice.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's that deep.
That's the only thing. I don't think that he's that status of player where you're like, yeah, I can't trade you in division. You know what I mean? If it was Lindor, I'd be like, I think that's the kind of guy where you draw the line at. Unless you get like a stupid return, but I don't think Weaver's that level of guy. The next player that we have up is Jung-Hoo Lee. I don't see this one happening. I don't think anybody wants it.
Yeah, I don't have him going anywhere. I mean, the first thing you look at is the control. I mean, he's under contract. There is an opt-out. I don't think he opts out.
I doubt he does.
Yeah.
Because, he's a solid hitter. He's an above-average hitter, right?
Yeah.
But his defense is terrible. Terrible, 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 right? And I think if you're going to be that level of just, a really bad defensive player, right? Like, for context, he is 11th percentile as above average. That's really fucking bad. You need to be better than, a 762 OPS if you're going to be that bad of a defensive player. And it's not like he's that good of a base runner either. He's solid. He's a little bit above average, I guess, but he's not, great.
Yeah, he's playing Masataka Yoshida Simulator right now.
Honestly, that's a great comp. Yeah.
I'd never thought about it like that, but you're so right.
Those two remind me so much, just because it's Yeah, they can have an average. They literally have the same. Okay, I'm looking at the exact same batting average last year.
Literally, like no, they totally no. Like now you say it, like I'm thinking about it. Like you're right. Like
But yeah, it's just guys who were brought in because of their bat, and they were known to be not great fielders. But unfortunately, their bat hasn't translated as well to make up for the fielding as they had hoped. They've been given big contracts, and that's another thing. I don't see a team willing to kind of because the Giants are in a position where he's still relatively young. He's 27. It's not like they need to move him, and I don't think teams are going to be lining up to take on his contract and to take him on right now.
no,
No.
I'm
Like I
not.
don't
If
think it's going
if
to be
you're
like
if you're the Braves, the Brewers, the Phillies, the Dodgers, how much does Jung Hoo Lee move the needle for you?
Like he doesn't. That's the thing,
exactly.
right? Like
Oh, yeah.
I saw people throwing the Phillies around. I'm like, sure, I guess he's better than what they have, mostly because their outfield stinks. But like, is he really going to do that much for you? Because like, next season he's owed about $23 million. I doubt he opts out. I'd be shocked if he does. And if he doesn't, he's owed $20.5 million in each of the next 2 seasons. For a guy that's like he's a little bit above average hitter, right? He's not. I don't think he's going to be any higher than a 115 WRC+ bat at any point in his career, tops, unless he somehow adds power, which is not going to happen. He's never been a power hitter in his life, never. Or he becomes like an all-world defender, or like at least a plus defender, which he never has been. Last year he was one of the worst defensive outfielders in baseball. He had a -18 defensive run saved last year in center field. He was awful. This year,
2026 Dalton Varsho.
amen. In 2026, he has -8 defensive run saved in less than 800 innings out there, -4 outs above average, -5 fielder run value. He's bad defensively out there, and he's not nearly good enough of an offensive player or base runner to make up for it. So why am I, as a team that, in theory, the teams that would be looking for a guy like this would be guys who need help in the
The team
outfield.
that could be willing to take on a contract like that too.
Yeah. Like,
Not to mention.
it'd be one thing if he was sitting at a 3 WAR right now, but he's not.
Or
He's
if
sitting
he
on a
was
1
like
WAR.
or if he was on like a legitimately like the contract was what a guy who's in like his 3rd major league season would actually be.
Yes.
Meaning a guy who didn't come over where it's like, okay, he's making like probably like $2 million. It's like, oh yeah, why not?
Exactly. But that is a very different scenario from the one that we are living in. And because realistically, this guy, assuming there is no drastic changes in his defense, offense, whatever, he's gonna cap out as like a 2-win player. Like that's his cap, realistically. Last year he was 2.4. I don't know how the fuck he was a 2.5-win player last year. But like that is his absolute cap. It's like a 2-win player. He's not gonna be any better than that. Especially now that they've moved him out of center field because they realize he's dog shit there.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't want that. I don't think anyone else does either with the contract.
No, doubt it.
Let's go to a guy now that a lot of teams are probably going to want. That's Jose Soriano.
Yes, sir.
Now, again, this is the Reed Detmers thing where it's kind of be hard to match the ask for it. But I think that there's teams that if you can do it, you should. If you can, you should. 2 more years of control. We know how insane he's been this season. Ethan, we've broken down why, the whys behind it.
Yeah.
Multiple times. We did one big one, and then we've kind of touched on other times. We know the story about him by now. He's really fucking good. He's young. He's 27. Has another 2 years of control. And it's kind of like a similar question to Reed Detmers. Is number one, do you actually trust that they're going to trade someone who's not an expiring deal? And the other question is anyone going to match that kind of price? Because inherently, years of control means higher asking price. There's some teams who he fits really well on, I think. Just like I mentioned for Detmers, I think he fits really well on the Cardinals and the White Sox. I would fucking love if a certain Canadian team went in for someone like this.
Montreal Expos?
Yeah, totally. Absolutely what I'm talking about. 100%. The Christie Pitts Toronto Maple Leafs baseball team, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yes, I help Puig.
Yasi Hope, yeah, they have Allegations Man playing over there, bro. Allegations Man. But yeah, this is one that I've seen thrown around. What do you guys think? What do you think?
I think the Cubs desperately need a guy like this. Desperately.
I'd agree.
If you look at their rotation,
Yeah.
let's get into it. Shota has been fine. It doesn't move you a ton, but it's fine. Matthew Boyd has been fine. And he also hasn't pitched the whole year for them, but he's been fine. Colin Ray has not been good, and he also doesn't have a track record of being good. Edward Cabrera has sucked, and he's injured right now. Jamison Tyone has sucked. Javier Assad has not pitched the whole year for them. It looks like he's getting some spot starts for them. He's been fine. I think the Cubs need a guy. Jose Soriano is obviously a guy. No one would doubt that. He instantly becomes the best starter at least this year on the rotation. And if they're looking to make a splash this year, and they've been good, this rotation doesn't get it done and doesn't get it done in a wild card series. It doesn't get it done in a division series. Like Shota, game 1 starter, I'll take it. I'm not inherently mad about that. But if your number 2 guy is Edward Cabrera at a 5 ERA and a 5 FIP, that's really tough.
Or the 2026 version of Matt Boyd.
Yeah.
Who has not been nearly the level of guy he was last year.
So I think if an overpay is what it takes to get Jose Soriano, the Cubs are desperate enough to make that overpay.
Yes, and I think this is like kind of the level of pitcher that you need in there. Because again, like you said, almost nobody there has been good. I was looking at it because I was trying to figure out, because I was like, obviously they need pitching, but I was like, all right, what does your rotation actually look like? And I was looking at it more in depth, and I was like, oh my fucking god, this is terrible.
It's not good. It's really not good.
The only guy who's really been like good for you this season, and he hasn't even been a starter the whole season. Before he went on the injured list, they moved Ben Brown to the rotation. He made 8 starts, about early mid-May-ish, until he went on the IL in June, right? He was lights out in the rotation before that. However, that is also 8 starts. That is not that much. I understand he's young, but that's 8 starts. Let's assume that he's like just good in the rotation. He's a 3 ERA pitcher, which honestly is a big ask for someone who was in the bullpen to start the season. But let's just say that it is, right? You have one like good starter, right? Because again, I know Imanaga's been all right. He still has the home run problem that, he only had 1 start in the playoffs, or I guess he had more than 1 start in the playoffs last year. But in the playoffs last year, it kind of burned him, and that's going to burn you in the playoffs because home runs are essentially what wins you games in the postseason, like 80% of the time.
Yeah, I mean, Shota, he throws a lot of fastballs around 90 to 92 high in the zone. Home runs are naturally going to happen.
Exactly. So I don't really think that there's like really anyone in this rotation who's like that reliable. Like, I guess Matt Boyd's under the hood stuff is good. Like not 2026 Matt Boyd good, but it's still like good, right? But
yeah, that's what I was struggling with. Like, Nick, if you had to assemble a 4-game rotation for a playoff series, what would the order be? Like, what could you possibly do here?
I would have to take a gamble on Ben Brown. He would be game 1. Let's just assume everyone's healthy. It would have to be Ben Brown game 1, right? Which again, I know I'm saying the word gamble because like small sample. I guess I'd have to go Matt Boyd game 2 and like Imanaga game 3. But I don't feel good about that past Ben Brown. I can feel okay-ish about Matt Boyd. After that, I'm like, oh, I really don't like this. You know what I mean? Because if you're going in a 7-game series, you literally have to start one of like, again, barring an addition, Colin Ray, Jamison Tyone, or Edward Cabrera. Or if you want to get ballsy and start Javier Assad, none of those 4 guys are good right now. Not one. Not one of them is good. And, on that note, one of Jose Soriano's better qualities is that he's actually been really good at limiting home runs. His home runs per 9 on the season is sub 1. Yep. Do you want to guess where the Cubs pitching staff ranks in terms of home runs per 9?
Terrible.
28.
26.
Second to worst.
Yeah.
Only the Athletics have allowed more, and granted, they play in that fucking ballpark, by the way. Which, like, sure, whatever. Only them. And again, this was the same
Yeah.
thing that the Cubs had last season. Their staff allowed a lot of homers. That's gonna bite you in the postseason. I do think Soriano would be a really good fit there.
Yeah, I'm kind of on the same thing with like Detmers. I think the Cubs are really desperate to look for starters. I think the Angels are going to be one of the people they call up, and I think that if the price for Soriano is too much, Detmers is who they can fall back on,
Sure,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
fair.
or vice versa. Like if they value one guy more than the other, like I'm not, like they might value the team control more. They might value, well, actually no, I'm pretty sure they have the same team control, don't they?
It's the same. They have, I think,
So yeah,
two more years after this year.
yeah. So yeah, so I mean, it's just kind of like I guess who they value more.
Yeah, anyone who can get Jose Soriano, score, absolute score. Unfortunately, I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening.
Yeah.
As much as I honestly think that number one, a team should go and get him, and I think the Angels just should trade him because, like, respectfully, you guys need to bottom the fuck out. I don't think it's happening.
Michael Conforto has an OPS that starts with an 8 this year with the Cubs, by the way.
That's higher than
That's-
someone who's making $500 million.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Oh man. Anyways, let's go on to another starting pitcher. A very interesting case here, Freddie Peralta. You know, we were just talking about the Cubs. I think Freddie Peralta lands in Chicago. I'm not gonna lie. I do want to say I understand that the ERA stuff is really nasty. I understand it. I can look at it and I can see that's a 5. That starts with a 5. However, I will not sit here and pretend like I do not think that there is a lot of talent under the hood for Freddie Peralta. And also, I think that front offices are going to be able to understand that. I understand it's a cold stretch. I understand that he's not even as good as last year. I understand both those things. They're hitting his slow stuff a lot harder than they were last year. But I still think it's in there. And regardless of how good you think he is or isn't, some team is going to trade for him. There's no way that I'm keeping him from the Mets. I think he's gone. I think the Cubs are a team that is going to go out there and get some level of starting pitching. Maybe it's one guy. Maybe it's two guys. Maybe it's a rental. Maybe it's a guy like Soriano with multiple years. I don't know. I think Peralta's the guy. I think he lands there.
I like Chicago, but I wonder about the White Sox. If they would get a guy like that kind of as like a veteran, maybe a little mentor, team that's kind of, definitely pushing for a playoff spot, could use another starter.
That intrigues me. That intrigues me.
That's kind of what I wonder. I mean,
That's an interesting one.
right now, Schultz isn't really pitching at the level that they would like. Eric Fetty is solid, but could benefit, honestly, from being like a long relief man. Like, that could help out the team in terms of depth, stretching him out. Getting a guy like Peralta and having a 1, 2, 3 of, like, in whatever order of, like, Burke, Martin, and him could play very nice in October.
Not bad, yeah. Because that could actually be kind of nice. Yeah, I think the White Sox would... Again, I think they'd be a really good landing spot for any of the starters. I would love to see them get like one of the Angels pitchers. Would love to see.
Yeah, and honestly, with the emergence of some of their prospects like Antonacci, obviously guys like Murakami and Montgomery, but Tristan Peters, guys who are not necessarily like the top prospects looking over the past couple of years. Now they can kind of move some of the guys that were their previous top prospects and maybe are kind of blocked now, or maybe not looking like they're going to be part of the future of the team. So just something to keep an eye out on, I think.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting thing there. Sam, what are you saying on Mr. Peralta here?
This is one where it doesn't move me personally all that much. Like I don't, and I look at, obviously you look at the ERA is not good. I'm looking at the stuff under the hood right now, and it's just kind of mid across the board. And I understand that Freddie Peralta is whatever this statement means to people out there. He is a guy. I understand that he is a guy. He does have that talent. Any start that I've ever watched of Freddie Peralta, like obviously with the Brewers, it's clear that he's a guy. This year, it's just this league is very much, especially when you're trying to go for a postseason berth. This league is very much, what have you done for me lately, league, and he hasn't done much for me lately. I don't know how much this moves me, what I'm looking at right now, to be honest with you.
Yeah, fair as I guess. We'll go on to our next guy now. This is another one that I think the team should do it, but I don't think it's going to happen. It's Byron Buxton.
No.
I don't think it's happening,
I don't think it's happening.
but I think they should.
I think they should. I feel like I saw a bunch of stuff about how he doesn't want to leave.
Yeah.
He's going with the Mike Trout career path in the sense of such a talented player, all the tools in the world. Just unfortunately, unfortunately in his case, didn't have the same prime that Mike Trout did, whether in terms of the actual stats and the length. But obviously, all the talent in the world. Injuries have kind of ruined this past couple of years. Obviously, he's been better now with injuries, but there was a stretch where he was playing like no games. And no matter what, no matter how good or bad the team performing, he just sees himself playing his career out in Minnesota. It really doesn't seem likely for that to happen, him to get traded, at least not in the next couple of years.
Yeah.
It should be noted that he's been fucking ridiculous this year.
Oh yeah,
yes.
He's crazy good. He's so good. Like
and that's what sucks about him. It's that the talent was never the question. It's like we got robbed of seeing, like, there was a stretch in the early 2020s where he played like 150 games over 3 seasons or something like that. And it's like, if he was just able to figure out how to string together healthier seasons. I mean, this is somebody who had 28 home runs in 380 plate appearances a couple years ago.
Yeah. It's tough, man. Like, the other thing is, too, there's some teams that he'd be a stupid good fit on. Like, he would imagine him on the Phillies. Throw him in Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he'd fit really well with the Padres. I think he'd fit really well with the I was going to say the Red Sox, and I realized they have like 80 million outfielders, and I realized how stupid that statement was.
Yeah, one of them's Jarren Duran, though, so.
Yeah. Yeah, one of them's...
the big slur.
Yeah, the big slur. I was going to say one of the yellow slurs of fans. I think he'd actually fit really well in Houston if they wanted to go and get that far, but, I just don't think he's getting moved, unfortunately.
And also, as much as I'd hate to say it, I think he'd be amazing for the Yankees.
He would.
Hey,
that would make that
part,
team unbelievable.
That part makes me a little glad he's not getting moved, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Next one, we have a little bit more of a low-key guy. Taylor Ward. Now, this one's kind of iffy. I think you could kind of toss up if this guy's going to get traded. It all depends on how far in either direction the Orioles go. We kind of said that they might soft buy, just because they're not fully out of it. They're 3 games back. They've won 8 of their last 10. They've been a little bit better as of late. Not everything has really gone their way. But, again, they aren't in a playoff spot. They are still 500. I don't know. I think it depends. What do you guys think is going to happen with Mr. Taylor Ward?
Personally, I think he's going to stay.
He's a stay.
They made the trade. I'm not saying that Grayson Rodriguez, had that much value at the time of the trade, given his injuries, and I don't think it's like they gave up an arm and a leg to get Ward. But I think they got Ward with the assumption that they would probably, at least hopefully, be able to sign him to a team-friendly deal where he'll be able to give his power output to a team that needs a guy that can give that to them. And like I said, with some of the guys who are either in their prime or entering their prime, they could use a guy who's getting up there in age. He'll be 33 next season. To kind of solidify. And I mean, if he's going to be your, right now, he's probably been their best hitter, or one of their best hitters this season. I'd say Pete Alonso, obviously, but, and obviously, the guys who are hurt, but I'm saying, guys who are healthy now, he's one of the second best hitter in the lineup.
Mm-hmm.
And you would like him to be about the 4th or the 5th best, and that would really show you have a strong lineup. If they could bring him back and kind of keep building on to what they have already, I think he'd be just a tremendous complementary piece to this lineup, and I don't think that trading him would be in their best interest, considering as a rental, he's not going to have that much value anyway.
He isn't.
Yes, he'll have value, but, especially not even including the fact that it's, it's the Orioles again, and they had these guys last year. But I kind of just think it just reminds me of like a O'Hearn or Laureano situation,
Mm-hmm.
where it's like that made sense to move on from, but I mean in terms of the return, that's probably what you're looking at.
Yeah, and this is totally a guy who you could bring back on like a 1 or 2 year deal after this season, right? Even if you brought him back on like a 3 year deal, this profile, he's had a really weird flip in his profile. He's become an on base demon, but he sacrificed all his power. Which I mean, I guess. Ideally, you'd want some of that power to come back because that's kind of what you were, I'm sure, what you envisioned when you traded for him.
Yeah.
You know, last year he had 36 homers. Right now, he currently has 7. He'd have to hit 29 homers from now until the end of the season. Yeah,
And
like,
that's
just not
another
happening.
reason why I don't think trading him makes sense, because why would you trade him at lower value than he was when you acquired him, when it's not like
Yeah.
this is somebody who you need to move, where there's going to be teams that want to give you their top prospects to get him.
Mm-hmm. I do think he is going to get moved. I kind of flipped on this a little bit because I'm like, would they or should they or whatever. I do think that ultimately it is going to happen. Not because, you know, I think they need to or whatever else. I just think I don't know. He's 32. He is a rental, whatever. I don't think it's going to be like a crazy return. I do have him going to the Yankees, actually. I think that he fits kind of well there. They need offense. That team, since Aaron Judge went on the IL, they've been terrible offensively. They have
I interest them in a Dalton Varsho.
They legitimately have like 2 good hitters in that lineup over the past like 2 months. Like, it's really bad. There's another guy I think they're gonna get later, but you know, we'll do that.
At the end of the day, the Yankees are only going to go as far as Aaron Judge is going to take them, and if he's not going to, if he's, you know, if his health is in the air, then they can make all the trades they want. Then, you know, it would take a lot for them to.
Yeah, absolutely. Sam, what do you got, Mr. Taylor Ward?
I think it makes sense to keep him, but I did want to entertain, you know, where might be a good fit. I think your St. Louis Cardinals are an interesting fit for this guy, for a you know, a soft buy candidate. So the outfield that they've been running out for a large majority of the year, if I'm reading this right, looks like Nathan Church, who is OPSing mid 600s. Victor Scott, who's injured right now, but who is OPSing 100 points worse than that in 61 games. And Jordan Walker has been very good, as we all know. Lars Nootbaar has been in there a little bit. I think if you can flip that into an outfield of Jordan Walker, Taylor Ward, Lars Nootbaar, that makes you go, interesting. I don't think this is a core that you go all in on, obviously, but a soft buy candidate, just like my Marlins pick from before. I think it's an interesting fit. Get another on-base bat in there. See what you can do a little bit. It's an expiring contract. It's not going to cost that much. Once again, I think it makes more sense to keep him if you're the Orioles. But yeah, I just want to entertain an interesting fit for him, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one we got up, man. This one's going to hurt when it happens. This one's Kevin Gausman.
Oh, boy.
34, it's been real, bro. The Gosfather, it's been real. Woke up this morning.
Listen,
got
obviously,
yourself a Goss, man.
the situation that he finds himself in, you know, it makes sense given that where he is in his contract, given where the team is this year, given there's always a need for starting pitching on the trade deadline market. It's sad that it had to be this way. It really is.
It's so sad, man. Because listen, you ask like any Jays fans, like Jays fans will fucking love Gausman. That's the other thing. Fans fucking love him. And like, understandable. This guy's a demon. And he's a G. But like, you know, unfortunately, it is a little bit inevitable. There's a chance that we watched his last home start the other night, or I guess last night. There's a chance he gets like one more before the deadline if he starts like there before however it lines up. But I think, you know, Jays fans, if you're listening, I think you got to be ready. It's happening. It's just a matter of where he's going to go.
The fact that he and also the team around him seems so sure that it's going to happen makes me think it's going to happen.
Yeah. The team I got for him, I got the Chicago Cubs again. I know I had it for Peralta. I got it for Gausman. When I say you need starters, you need starters. You need guys. And Gosman is going to be. He's going to be. Listen, I know that the ERA and stuff doesn't look as great over the last couple months. He is going to be one of the top starters that's going to be available, right, on the market. I think the talent is a lot better than some of the other guys that are going to be a lot better than any of the most of the other rentals that are going to be available. He has the track record, all that stuff. He's going to be one of the top guys available. I think the Cubs are going to be one of the top teams in on him. Another fit I want to mention, by the way, I think Atlanta. He fits really well there.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. Another
That's
reunion.
also what I have
there.
him down for.
Just yeah, he fits very well there. Familiar with it.
Man, I don't want to see it happen. I don't want to see him in another jersey, man. I know it's the right thing to do, but man, I don't want to see it.
No. Like, I do. Here's the vision. You trade him,
You
get a very nice little piece. He wins a World Series with, hopefully it's not a team that we hate. Wins a World Series, gets his ring, and then comes back for like 3 years to end his career.
Yeah,
I'd fuck with that. I would fuck with that. I wrote that in an article being like, yeah, this could totally happen. If there's anyone that I think it happens with on the Blue Jays, I think it would be him. I think that's just...
Yes, 100%.
He did say that he wants to end his career here. That was the idea when he signed the deal in the first place. But totally in the realm of possibility, I think. So
yeah, I have him going to Atlanta. I think the rotation already isn't bad. Certainly not bad. I think the addition of Gosman makes it, in terms of who your guys are in the playoffs, he's one of those guys.
Stables it out a lot more.
Yeah. Like, Chris Sale has been fantastic, much better than Gosman has been this year. So he's your guy. But you slot Gosman in under him, it's looking really nice. And, let's not pretend they're super, super cracked or anything. Like, Carlos Carrasco has pitched games for the Braves this year. So
yeah, past Chris Sale, the rotation isn't, that good. You know what I mean?
I am a Graham Holmes guy, I will say.
You're better than me. I think he's a ticking time bomb right now.
The underlying stuff is not good.
I think that it is a matter of time before multiple guys in this rotation just kind of implode. I think, can't lie, I think he's one of those guys.
I think Martin Perez is a ticking time.
I think he is too. I think Ronaldo Lopez is another one. I think with those three, it's a matter of time. They all walk more guys than you'd want. Holmes and Lopez allow a bit more home runs than you'd like. I don't think that Elder hasn't really been that great this season. I think getting Gosman in there just makes everything a lot more stable. You can rely on him. You know what I mean? It's not like you need a number one starter because obviously you have Chris Sale and he's one of the best pitchers in the league at his old age, which is hilarious to say.
37 years old, FIP of 2.72.
And in Boston, he looked like he was cooked at a point. He looked like he was done.
There was a point in there. He looked like he was very, very toast.
So there was a time period where you would say it's gotten to a point.
Yeah.
And he said we good. The next player that we have up, we talked about him earlier, Bo Bichette. Do you guys think he's staying? Do you think he's going anywhere? Who's got to take?
I don't. I just, like I said, it's the contract. I just can't see anybody wanting to take it on. Only way is if they retain or if they give up, one of their top pieces as well, like a prospect or something
you would have
in the trade just to move it.
You would have to sweeten the deal in order to get somebody to take him. And honestly,
I don't see him moving.
And honestly, and I agree. I don't think he's getting traded. The other thing is, if I'm a contender, let's think about all the contenders. Who actually, based on how he's playing in 2026, who would actually want him?
I don't think anyone would want him. I think the Brewers need a third baseman, but I don't think they want that third baseman.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't think the Rays want him. I don't think the White Sox want him. I don't think the Rangers want him. Yankees, Guardians, Red Sox, I don't think any of those guys want him. Dodgers, Brewers, Braves, I don't think any of them want him, realistically.
Dude, that's such a scary player to trade for. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone does it.
Because, you know what I mean? Number one, even if he wasn't making this money, this is not an insane needle mover. You know what I mean? Let's just call it what it is. Just based on his 2026 play. But also, if most likely he's going to opt into that contract, I'm stuck paying him fucking $55 million next year and then $55 the year after if he opts into that one too. Absolutely not. Fuck you.
No way.
I'm not trading for that shit. Either you retain money or you have to give me some... You really have to sweeten the pot to get me to take him. And I just don't think that's going to happen. I think the Mets are going to have to thug this one out.
Yeah, I think it's pretty open and shut. I don't think it's likely at all that he gets traded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next up, Casey Mize. This is the guy that I have going to the Braves.
Okay.
I think he goes to Atlanta. I think he's at number 2 right behind Chris Sale. I think that's a pretty nice one, too. I can't lie. Like, that's pretty nice.
I have a bit of a crazy one here.
Let's hear it.
St. Louis.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I really don't hate
that. Okay. Okay, a little bit of a, you trade for him, little rental, see what the team can do. Okay.
Exactly. And if you like what you see, you bring him back. If you don't, then you can let him go.
Feels crazy that I'm about to say veteran in the same sense as Casey Mize, but solid little veteran in there. You know what I mean? 29 years old.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's been around.
What happened to time, dude?
What happened? I remember when he got picked first overall.
Yeah.
I remember that. I was there.
I didn't have a team down for him because, sorry to interrupt. Sure. But I'm looking at a team that has Anthony Kay starting games for them. Like,
disgusting. Disgusting.
You know what? I'm airing it out here. I don't care. It's about time. I go public. Anthony Kay, I'll forever dislike him. and not just as a player, as a person. First of all, his brother's also a loser, but that's besides the point. And I'm airing it out. This guy streamed on Twitch back in the day. Very good MLB The Show player, Anthony Kay. And, he was looking for, sub badges and stuff. So he goes, yo, I said, yo, I can help out. I could design you some. You let me know what you think. He said, oh, yeah, I'd love it. So I spent a couple hours. I designed, some cool subscriber badges for him. I DM it to him. Doesn't even look at it, just doesn't give a shit, and just basically takes the idea that I gave him anyway and gets his own done.
Based off the ones that you did?
Yes.
Oh, that's crazy.
Based off my suggestion in the chat, yeah.
Oh, damn.
No, that is flammable. That's flammable.
That is slanderable.
I'll always dislike him for that, as a person.
Hey, man.
I get it, you're a major league player, you can't check every DM, but how are you going to basically want a mock-up of something and then just completely just say, you know what, I don't care about your mock-up, I don't care you spent time and you offered to do it for free, I'm just going to use somebody else's and take your idea and not give you any credit. I didn't even do it for the credit, it's because he's a Blue Jay and I thought it'd be cool to help out a Blue Jay player with something like that. It's just the fact that he just didn't give a shit that I helped out.
Is Anthony Kay welcome in the streets of Toronto?
No, he's not. If he ever comes back to Toronto, my goons are gonna be on him,
Black SUV operation.
Dude, he does not want to step. He does not want to step on the streets of Toronto. That's all I gotta say.
The black Suburbans are being deployed.
Yeah.
Casey Mize to the White Sox, Anthony Kay to Shanghai.
Yeah, sounds good.
Sounds good to you. We'll go on to the next player. Shea Langoliers. I've seen this name only thrown around in the past couple weeks. I think this one's a long shot, I can't lie. Big long shot. I think there's some teams that could definitely use him, but I don't think it's happening.
I'll be honest, I think it would be egregious to trade him. That would be shocking.
Yeah, I think this is a team that, honestly, if they do the right stuff, I think they can be good in the next year or two.
Yeah, absolutely. And that he's under contract. There's no reason to trade him.
Yeah, I don't really think that you have to trade him. You know what I mean? Unless somebody gives you a crazy package, which obviously that goes for most players. But
yeah, if the name of the player isn't Shohei Ohtani, you answer the phone,
exactly.
Right? But he's been really good this year, and he was really good last year. I think it would be stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't see it. The batted ball stuff is still really fucking good. It's not like he's old. He's 28. The guy's not even 30. Yeah, this guy's one of the better hitting catchers in the league. I don't know. I just don't see the reason for it. So we'll see what happens, I guess. But I don't think it's happening. Ethan, are you on board, or do you think something different?
No, I'm on board.
Yeah.
I'm on board with that.
Another one that I think is a long shot is Francisco Lindor. I've seen this one thrown around just because of like the Mets like trade rumor stuff. This is a long shot. This isn't happening. I can't lie.
I think that's an off-season trade if I've ever seen one. Like
Absolutely.
I don't think it means
If it
he's going to get
happens,
moved, but if it happens, it's 100% something that's going to happen in the off-season.
Yeah, I don't think that this
It's definitely something where like you see the free agent class, you miss out on a guy, whatever. It's like, you know what? And by the way, that's not me saying that he's like some consolation prize, but it's like, you know, it's just he's gonna cost assets, whereas a free agent you could just sign. A team could look at it and be like, we didn't really have the free agents we wanted. You know what? We have some guys we can move. We'll just sign some depth guys and then move some other guys and get Lindor, and then he'll be like the big offseason addition. Like it just makes way more sense when you have everything laid out in front of you before the season to make a trade like this.
Yeah.
If he's a rental, it's a different story.
One of your expensive core pieces under team control through 2031. If you want to move off of him, it's an off-season deal for sure.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
You just don't see guys with this level of term and this level of like money commitment get moved very often. Like that's why it felt so crazy when Devers got traded, because like you just don't you don't see it during the season, right? That's a big part of the reason why Devers felt so crazy when he got traded, because you just don't see that shit during the season. If it happens during the offseason. This doesn't happen mid-season.
Yeah, I'll entertain the conversation in the offseason, but like at the deadline, come on, no.
Yeah, no, not happening. The next one, Luis Garcia Jr. of the Washington Nationals. This is an interesting one because like he's been weirdly good this season, but also, you know, he is. I don't know. The Nationals are like fine, like they're solid. He has one more year left on his deal. I just realized on the sheet that I typed this in wrong. He has another year of arbitration. He has I think he was a Super 2 guy. So he's under control through next season, and then that's when he would hit the open market. But the other thing is he's kind of young. He's 26, and you know. Ethan, we talked about this not that long ago on the show here, that there's a lot of things that he's doing way better than he used to. That, you know, at this age, like, great. Like, this guy's randomly a fucking power hitter all of a sudden. I'm not saying that you sign him long term, but I also don't know if you want to move him, like, right now. Just because, again, like, the team's solid. If you go in on pitching in the offseason, this team could be really fucking good. And a big part of the reason why the offense has been, you know, arguably the best lineup in ball is because Luis Garcia has been kind of ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't see him moving. I think, you know, if judging, like, based on what he's done this season, if you're Washington, his age lines up with your rebuild, right? Like, I think... If obviously you just said he has another year of control after this one, but if his contract was up this year, he would be an extension candidate, right? Like
absolutely, I think so. Because he's only 26. He's a year older than C.J. Abrams.
There you go.
Like, he's not old. I don't think it's happening. I was kind of surprised when I saw his name getting thrown in there. Can't lie. Ethan, unless you got something different to say, then I guess we'll move on to the next guy.
Yeah, I'm good to move on.
All right, the next guy, Eugenio Suarez.
I don't think there's a chance he gets moved. I mean, the Reds finally give out a big contract after rumors like, oh, missed out on Schwarber. Oh, they actually got Suarez. And then the first season, things aren't going perfect, so you just trade them. And that's just bad business, in my opinion. And that's not to say you should keep guys just because you sign them, but in a situation like this, I don't know, like, what are you even going to get in a trade return that warrants, you know, free agents looking at that and saying, oh, I don't want to sign here, because they'll just trade you right away.
Do you guys know the meme of the one dude is on Instagram, and it's just like, who want me? And it's 100% no.
No one.
That's Eugenio Suarez right now. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Literally, I cannot think of a contender who wants him right now. Because also, I know you said, like, you know, the stuff about bad business. I think the bigger part is they have a mutual option for next season, which, I mean, obviously, the club doesn't have to pick that up. But even so, Suarez has been, like, terrible this year. Like, let's not sugarcoat it. He's been ass. He's been really bad. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around it. He sucked. he's been terrible. His WRC plus is 81.
Yeah, he's sucked this year.
He's
It's been really
been
bad.
a minus 0.7 F4 player. He's nearly one loss above replacement. That's crazy. If
Yeah.
I'm a contender, what does this bring me?
Anywhere on the stat line that you look, it's just
It's bad.
sucks.
The average,
His
the OBP, the slugging, the WAR, the
yeah.
WRC plus, even nothing.
His B war and F war are identical, which means that both projection systems agree on the amount that he's been asked, which isn't a good sign for him.
Like, it's not even like it's just like, he hits bad against one hand of pitcher, right? Like, oh, maybe he's just a platoon bat. His better side that he hits against is a 95 WRC plus. Like, it's bad. Like, it's just not good. If I'm a contender, I just don't want him. Like, if
There's
the Reds call my phone and say, "What are you willing to give up for Gino?" I'm farting in the phone. I'm hanging up. Like, what are we doing? I'm like, why are you calling me? Like,
considering the money, considering how bad he's been, you probably have to give up assets to trade him, honestly.
Realistically, yeah. And I mean, at
Yeah.
that point, you may as well hold on to him, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
It's a mutual option. You just decline it, and then it's effectively just a 1-year deal. In fact, I mean, pretty much any time that a mutual option is there, it's just a 1-year deal. Like, honestly, mutual options, hot take, most performative thing in baseball. I can't lie.
It's
performative
pretty
as hell.
performative.
Performative
It's
as
pretty
hell.
performative.
I can't lie. Performative as fuck, bro. Get that mutual option out of here, man. Don't lie to me. Act like there's a chance that you guys both accept it. Get the fuck out of here. Don't lie to me. Yeah, no, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's a chance in hell that this guy gets traded. Next one. I realized that I lumped all these guys together, like, unintentionally, and I have 5 straight guys in a row that I'm saying are staying. This is Joe Ryan. I don't think he's getting traded either, because I don't think Minnesota's going to do it, even though, again, I think they should. What do you guys think? He was really close to being traded last year, if y'all remember.
Yeah, I think them not trading him kind of at this point tells me, like, you know what, they probably realize, like, you know what, we probably shouldn't move him. We're in no rush to move him. I think that if they were really keen on moving him after that, he almost went to the Red Sox at the deadline, he would have been moved in the offseason.
Yeah,
But
because that's what I thought was going to happen. I thought, because
yeah,
they were like, I don't remember what the wording was, but it was effectively like they were at the 1-yard line on a trade. Like, they was so close to happening. I thought he was going to get traded in the offseason. I remember I predicted that when we did our episode, that I was like, yeah, he's going to get traded.
Yeah.
I don't remember what team I said. I might have said Boston. Maybe I said a different team. I don't remember. But I was like, yeah, like, it's going to happen. And it didn't happen. And you know what? I don't think it's going to happen, because I don't think Minnesota is going to be willing to, in my opinion, do what they got to do.
Yeah, this is just another one where I wanted to entertain it, see what could be a good fit. I also agree on your assessment. I think Milwaukee needs a Brandon Woodruff replacement now, so
Yup.
That could be interesting. But yeah, I don't really buy much into that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen, unfortunately, because I do think that they really should. But, oh well, it is what it is. Next one up. Former Cy Young winner. Robbie Ray.
Pete Walker legend.
Pete Walker legend. Pete Walker pitching masterclass, by the way.
Pete Walker's most successful grooming victim, Robbie Ray.
Whoa! Hold on. What?
I didn't know, like, the term. I don't know what term to use. It. You know what I'm trying to say, not like a.
Hey, hold on. Said his grooming victim. Hey, man.
Anyways, he'll be a victim of the Red Sox winning streak. Enjoy.
I thought Pete Walker's only scandal was the drunk driving.
Oh,
Shout out Pete Walker DOI on Twitter. Yeah. This is, like, almost certain that this guy's going to get traded, right? There's a lot of Giants I think that could get traded. I think Robbie Ray and Luis Arias are, like, honestly slam dunks that it's going to happen, just because they're the two expirings. I don't think that, guys like Chapman, Adames, whoever, the big contracts, I don't think those are getting moved at least yet. But again, like, we've talked about all the teams that need starting pitching, or at least a lot of them. And we've mentioned this team before. I think Robbie Ray, welcome to St. Louis. Welcome to the St. Louis Cardinals. Obviously, we know they're good right now. They're not, like, crazy good. They've exceeded expectations. They're about a game and a half out of wildcard spot.
Yeah.
Their rotation is, they have some guys who have been doing stuff, but overall, let's not kid ourselves, it's a little bit suspect. Michael McGreevy has been good. The under the hood stuff does not like him one bit. The only guy who has like really good under the hood stuff is like Dustin May, and funny enough, that's like one of the worst ERAs in their rotation.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that Robbie Ray slots in as a guy for them. You probably take Liberatore out, or granted, they could trade Dustin May too. He's been in conversations as well. I think realistically, Robbie Ray trade happens, Liberatore out of the rotation, you slot Robbie Ray in, you look a lot better at that point. I don't think any like the top contenders are going to want him, because, can't lie, Robbie Ray's under the hood stuff, it's not looking great. Throughout his career, he's always been a guy that's walked a lot of guys, but he's made up for it with the strikeouts. But this season, both of those things have trended in a negative direction. His walks per nine is the highest mark that it's been in a full season since, if you want to count 2020. If you don't want to count that, then 2018. His walk per nine this season, 4.39. Not very good. And his strikeouts are the lowest it has ever been, excluding a 28 and 2/3 inning sample size in 2014. It's not trending in the greatest direction. So I don't think that he's bad, right? But I think he's just like kind of okay. And I think that the teams that need starting pitching, like the top contenders, like, the Braves, Cubs, whatever, I think that they need guys who are better than what Robbie Ray is. I think that a team like St. Louis, they don't need to like go super hard for like a Soriano, a Skubal, or whoever, right? They can be like, let's just add this piece, helps just even out a rotation a little bit. Things just on the whole look a little better, boom, right? You can sleep well at night. You don't have to give up too much for him. I think he fits kind of well there, like that. What are you guys thinking?
I have an interesting one for you guys. Yeah, so the results for Robbie Ray have been good. The surface level stuff looks okay. The underlying metrics suck. Terrible. Very, 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 very bad. There's nothing on my screen right now in terms of his under the hood metrics that is good. And so the fit that I would be looking for is but a team in the next tier under that has a decimated rotation that might be looking to take a risk on a guy that could be good for them because they just need a warm body that might potentially be good. And the Diamondbacks interest me as a fit for Robbie Ray, a reunion there, because Zach Gallen has been terrible and right now he's injured.
Yeah.
Ryan Nelson has been terrible and right now he's injured. Mike Soroka has been good, but he's also injured.
I'm noticing a pattern here.
Merrill Kelly has been terrible. He's not.
You could say Soroka's hurt, and I'll say, like, you won't have to specify the year. I just say, okay, yeah, sounds right.
Yeah, sounds about right. Brandon Pfaadt has been not good, and he's never been good, even though he's supposed to be a guy. The only, really good starter that they have is Erod, who's having a nice renaissance year. So I think the fit makes a ton of sense because they need somebody.
Hashtag bring him back.
Bring him back.
Because, like, he's really low. He's a very, like, low-risk arm. It's not going to cost a lot to get him. You're not committing with term or anything like that. I think that this is the kind of tier of teams that would be in on Robbie Ray, like someone like the Diamondbacks or, like, the Cardinals, or, like, the White Sox. Like, those kind of teams, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think those are the teams that make the most sense. Another team would be, like, if Washington wants to try, you know what I mean? They don't want a hard buy or anything like that, but they don't really want to sell. They want to see if they can make the playoffs. Team like that, maybe.
I can't see the Marlins wanting to take on that contract, but if San Francisco could retain, I could see that maybe.
Yeah, but like these kind of teams, I don't think any of I don't think that, a team like the Dodgers, I don't think would be going for Robbie Ray. The Brewers, Yankees, whoever, like those kind of teams, I don't think it would be happening.
No, it doesn't move them just because all the under the hood stuff sucks.
Yeah, but these other teams, it's like, you know what, you don't really need to get moved as You don't really need the needle to get moved as much because you're not on that level. You know what I mean? Like you're kind of just starting to be good, so you don't have to go all in like that.
Yeah, here is a guy that plays baseball and can pitch for you.
Absolutely, warm body.
Yeah.
As you said.
And who may be better than whatever 24-year-old I'm throwing out there, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Ethan, what do you think? What are you thinking?
No, I mean, I agree, honestly. I mean, it's not like it's some extremely high risk thing. Like you said with the term, so like I don't know. I mean, I could see like the Red Sox being a possible destination here, given injuries
True, they
and
do have a pretty injured rotation right now.
and given the state of the team with the winning streak and how the whole season's outlook has changed in in the blink of an eye. So
Yeah.
I think they could really make a play.
Yeah, they totally could. We'll move on to probably, I would say, I think this guy should get traded, and I do think that he will. I think there's enough buzz. I think it's going to happen. Ryan Jeffers.
Yeah,
I think this is
it's
the
the
most.
same thing I say every time the Padres. It's a catcher, the Padres.
Ooh, okay. I think I don't hate that fit. I think this is the most obvious Yankee of all time. It is no secret that the Yankees catching situation is fucking awful. Like, it's bad. However bad you think it is, I promise you it's worse. Right? I'm gonna pull some stuff up for you. I want you to guess, right? These are the three guys that they've run out this year at catcher. Ali Sanchez, JC Escara, and Austin Wells. I want you to guess what their combined WAR is.
Blue Jays garbage, Uber driver, Dominican legend.
Guess what their combined FWAR is this season.
Ethan, go ahead.
1.4.
I'm gonna go negative 0.2.
Sam is closer. It's positive 0.2.
Yeah, I went way too high. I don't know
Austin
why.
Wells is minus 0.1. JC Escara is just 0.1, and then Ali Sanchez is 0.2.
Oh, I guess that makes I can't lie. I knew that they were dragging him down, but I thought Ben Rice was still technically would be considered a cat. Like, I don't know if has he caught it all this year or no?
I haven't looked. I'm just
because I know Wells. Yeah, I know Wells has been terrible.
Oh
so.
yeah, it's been bad. I'm gonna go on the Fangraphs team thing by a sec. If I go team by WAR catchers, they're 25th in WAR. Oh my god, there's fucking 4 teams with worse catching situations. Yo, y'all gotta figure it out, man.
Like the Padres?
Surprisingly, no.
Oh.
I'm shocked right now. The Padres are 16th in WAR among catchers this year.
Who is their catcher, and is it a human I have heard of?
So, who would it be off the dome? I remember last year they traded for like Freddie Fermin. I remember Ethan. You remember we were laughing about this on the pod. We were like, "Who the fuck? What kind of needle is this moving right now?"
Their starting catcher is Freddie Fermin.
It's Fermin, yeah. I was gonna say it's him.
Yeah, the only needle is moving is the heroin needles into the fans that have to watch that catcher.
Damn. Let's see. It's like him. I know Campusano's got some run.
Oh my gosh! Jesus. I have news from California. Luis Campusano is actually good.
Like he's
his OPS is 914.
He has been a guy in a whole 96 plate appearances. But yeah, the Yankees, no secret, their catching situation sucks. They should be in on every single catcher that even might be moved. Him, we talked about Shea, we talked about Hunter Goodman. They should be on literally every single one of these guys, and I think you need to get a deal done for somebody. If I'm the Yankees, I might even slightly overpay just so I know I have a fucking not dog shit catcher. Because respectfully, you are running out JC Escara and Austin Wells, who both stink. They both suck. They are both really bad. Get a guy. Ethan, you said a Padre. Makes sense. Very interesting.
Yeah.
Sam, what are you thinking?
So I originally did not know, but you've talked me into the Yankees. I think that makes sense.
Yeah,
I like that too. Yeah.
Unfortunately, demon hitting catcher in my division. I don't need all that unless he's on my team. But this is not my team.
Ryan Jeffers and Trevor Larnach and I'll pull up his name, but there's a third guy. They occupy the same space in my brain. Definitely Larnick and Jeffers. Like, they're the same guy to me.
Larnick, Jeffers. Who could this third guy
Wallner.
be?
Matt Wallner.
Yeah,
Matt Wallner.
makes sense.
Yeah. Same
Honestly,
guy.
I do think that Cody Clemens could actually be kind of thrown in there. I can't lie.
Yeah. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
I don't hate that.
Yeah.
Next guy up.
I like the Cody Clemens, the athletic still. Might
Shout out to Mr.
fit there. I like a lot.
I do. It makes sense. Next guy that we're gonna go for, the last catcher, Adley Rutschman. There's been rumors. It's kind of I don't think it's that much of a thing. I think that this one's kind of a long shot. I think that if they were going to trade him, they would have done it in the offseason. He's been a lot better this year. The best he's been since he was like the 6-win player. He's, again, elite defensive player. He's been a plus offensive player this year too, which is really nice. We kind of had him in conversations in the offseason. We were thinking, could it be the Phillies? Could it be the Padres? Or will he stay? But so far this season, he's actually been really good. He's a 2.5-win player right now. Probably finishes the season. 2.5-win player in just under 70 games, by the way. He did just go on the injured list like the other day, which is kind of tough. Wrist inflammation. I don't know how long that keeps him out. Even without it, I don't think he was getting moved. But yeah, I just don't think it's happening.
Yeah, I have him staying as well.
Yeah, Ethan, are you on the same?
Yeah, 100%. It just makes no sense to trade him now of all times.
Yeah.
Timing is so big with trades. It's not a matter of players should get traded or shouldn't. So much depends on the timing of it.
Absolutely.
Of if it makes sense for the current state of the team, and if it makes sense for other teams, the current state of other teams to want to get that guy. Obviously, I think Adley's going to have a lot of suitors. I don't think the Orioles are going to be wanting to just trade him for the sake of trading him.
Especially with the bounce back. You know what I mean? If he was having another down year, I'd say, you know what, I think it makes more sense that they're going to try and do it. But if you didn't do it after the down season last year, I don't think it's going to happen. Unless you trade him like you're bad next year and he's expiring and then you do it. You know what I mean? But that's a whole completely different scenario. Next guy. And Ethan, I have a feeling, I think we know what's about to happen here. Michael Wacha.
Oriole. Next.
Oriole. Or future Oriole, the biggest name going to be traded at the deadline, Michael Wacha. Y'all got it. Y'all got it, man. Sam, I don't know if you know what we're talking about, but
I don't.
So there was this article, Ethan, we looked at it when did we look at it? Like a month ago or something like that, maybe more?
Yeah.
And it was a GM survey of who they thought the biggest name at the deadline, biggest name who gets traded at the deadline is. And there was one guy who said Michael Wacha, and me and Ethan were like, that's fucking Mike Elias. I know it for a fact. I know for a fact that's Mike Elias. It's because he's the one who's going to do it. So listen, it's got to be Michael Wacha. It's got to be Michael Wacha to the Orioles. Even if, regardless of whether or not I actually think it's going to happen, I have to stick to the bit. And honestly, I actually do think he fits kind of well there. I can't lie, because, they could use some more starting pitching over there.
I think it's a good fit. Here's the perspective that I approach it from, okay? There is no reason for Michael Wacha to remain on the Royals. Trade him, get something back.
Yep.
It makes me sad. I'm looking at the roster of the Kansas City Royals in 2026, and it makes me sad.
They have a top 3 player in baseball over there, and they're just bad.
And it's just, dude, like...
They have...
Vinny Pasquantino is a dude. He is a human. He is a guy that plays baseball, and there's nothing else I can say about him. I mean, Michael Massey, Isaac Collins, Kyle Isbell is still getting regular run for the. It makes me upset because I like the Royals. I'm a Royals guy. They made the playoffs a few years ago, and it is just upsetting to look at this roster. Please trade anything of note.
It is so upsetting because also I'm not gonna lie, I'm really upset that Bobby he got placed on the IL like yesterday. I think if he didn't get placed on the IL, this would have been his year. I think he'd pretty good shot at winning MVP if he didn't get hurt. Fucking unfortunate.
He still leads the league in WAR and B-WAR at least.
He does. And again, also I will maintain this. One of the best shortstop seasons ever in 24.
Oh,
better.
Yes.
You could argue better than any season of like fucking A-Rod's career. Very arguable. He was
You
that
could
good.
absolutely make that argument.
170 WRC plus with like generationally good shortstop defense. Dude.
And not on steroids.
Like, damn near was an 11-win player. I feel like that's going to be one of those underrated seasons like ever.
It's actually unfathomable how good he was.
Yeah.
He was so good.
Like, that wins MVP 99 out of 100 years. It just so happened that Aaron Judge, arguably the greatest right-handed hitter ever, was just doing his thing and putting up like an 11-win season. It just so happened.
Like, in his Michael Wacha's rotation mates currently is a really old Seth Lugo that seems to have lost the sauce a little bit,
Who
unfortunately.
also should get traded if they can.
Should get traded if they can. Noah Cameron, good luck. Some individual named Luinder Avila has not been good.
An individual.
Stephen Kolek is on long-term IL, and he hasn't been good. And Chris Bubich is on long-term IL and hasn't been good. Lucas Urseg is their closer and has worse numbers than Hoffman, if I'm looking at this correctly. The only other trade pieces I see is Daniel Lynch IV and John Schreiber. Middle relief options for a contender. Lower tier contender. This is shockingly terrible.
Yeah. It's actually so rough out there.
It's really bad.
So rough. But yeah.
The reason I'm talking about it so passionately is, again, I like the Royals, but this is bad.
Yeah, and they have one of the best players of this generation. And I don't want the Mike Trout career path to be followed here in terms of he's just on a terrible team his whole career.
Yes.
I want to see prime Bobby Witt Jr. in postseason play.
So please trade Michael Wacha to Mike Elias and then get back a player that can be good with Bobby Witt Jr.
Yes. All right. The final position player on our board. Everyone's favorite, Dalton Varsho. I know a lot of people love this guy. A lot of people love him, I know. Any Jays fan on Twitter loves him. Okay, I'm done with the bit. So, again, expiring deal has really not, he's been okay this season. Teams that need outfield, we've kind of been over it. Let me know what you guys think on this one. I think that he's like a really good fit on the Phillies. Some of the guys they've been running out there in those outfield spots, kind of gross. It's kind of disgusting. I won't lie.
Let me take a look. Let me have a gander.
I was having a look at this because I was like, I think this, could this team fit here? Because I was seeing Phillies throwing in for a lot of outfielders, and I was like, yeah, you have Brandon Marsh, but outside of that, oh my god.
You know what? You're correct. That is stunning.
You are running a lot of Justin Crawford in center field this year. And Justin Crawford's not a good hitter, right? I know Varsho's been below average, but he's been better than that. Justin Crawford also, his defense sucks. At least Varsho's a good defender. You know what I mean? Yeah. Even if he has regressed from what he has been, he's at least still good. He's obviously on a team with the Blue Jays, he looks a lot worse just because nobody on this fucking team hits. At least on that team, you have Kyle Schwarber, Brandon Marsh, and Bryce Harper. You know what I mean?
Yep.
At least you have some demons over there in that lineup. So Varsho being 10%, 5%, whatever below average isn't going to hurt you as much. You can just have a guy who's just going to hold down center field in a positive way. I think he fits there too pretty well.
Give me the Detroit Tigers.
Okay. Holding down that
can't have shit in Detroit.
That's why he's going there, because you can't have nothing.
Yeah.
You can't have nothing good. That's why it's Dalton Varsho.
Yeah.
2020.
In all seriousness, their outfield is something right now. So, I mean, they currently have James Outman getting regular starts
in the big 2-6. By the way,
that is really tough. That's really tough.
Yeah.
In the year of our
Riley
Lord,
Green, obviously very good,
but not.
And as much as I hate on Varsho, you need somebody, and for what the price is going to be, given he's a rental, and not really playing to the best of his abilities, the price will come down a bit.
His value is the lowest it's ever been. Let's be real with ourselves. It's the lowest it's ever been.
And that could be a good, a little addition there for the team that's trying to make a playoff push.
Yeah, I think he fits. Yeah, I think he fits well there too. Sam, what are you thinking, Mr.
Yeah,
Varsho?
I the Tigers thing intrigues me. I didn't put a team down because I don't really know. I definitely think he should be traded. I I have concerns about how the profile would age. He's 30 years old right now. The defense has gotten worse from his peak. Um, Guys uh, don't typically get faster and better at defense as they get into their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
So the profile concerns me a little bit. He's not under contract anymore, obviously. After the he's a free agent after the season, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Expiring deal.
so there you go. Yeah, every reason to trade him. The Tigers thing definitely interests. I mean, because I'm looking at the roster after you brought it up, Ethan. Could definitely replace Vierling. Carpenter hasn't been good.
McKinstry hasn't been good.
Yeah, I mean, they have Jemai Jones listed as their DH. Shocking. He's not on the roster.
The year of our Lord, 2026, by the way.
Yeah.
So they already got him out of here, but before they did, he was rocking an OPS of 440. So
Nasty.
yeah,
Nastier than nasty man, bro.
some would say.
Some would say. I would say.
I would also say.
Yeah. All right. Second to last. Antonio Senzatella. So, obviously, a team that would want bullpen help. I decided to look into the numbers a little bit because I know earlier in the season his ERA was like 0.5. It was ridiculous. He was stupid good.
Colorado, by the way.
In Colorado, and I was like, damn, that's crazy. And I was like, I saw his numbers for the season were higher, and I was like, okay, that's kind of interesting. So I decided to look. Since June 1st, his earned run average, 7.94, and I'm like, damn, it's kind of nasty. Albeit, the underlying stuff likes him a little bit more. The 375 FIP, 377 xFIP. I do think he's better than a 7 ERA, but I think his value has definitely gone down from the like 0.5 ERA, whatever he was earlier in the season, right? There's still a positive, this is still a positive asset, I think. I think the only, also what's nice is if you don't want to pay him whatever in 2027, he has a club option. I don't remember how much it's for. Or did I write it down on the sheet? I didn't. He has a club option for next year. So if you don't want to keep him beyond the season, great. You can just decline the club option. If you want to keep him for next season, great. You have a club option. Now he's a 1.5 year guy. Wonderful. I don't think he's actually going to get traded. I don't think that like one of the top contenders would end up trading for him. I think it would be one of those mid-tier contenders and mid to low tier that would end up going for him. And I just don't think that they're going to be in the market for someone like him. I don't know. I just don't see it. Something about it. I just don't see it happening.
Yeah. Well, while we're on Senzatella, Ethan, if you have anything serious to say about him, go ahead, because I was just going to do a bit.
Of Senzatella?
Yeah.
Do you have anything serious?
I mean, that's who I could see a team like Washington picking up.
Yeah.
For their bullpen.
I think it could. I think it could happen.
Not like a huge name. All right, now I need to hear this bit.
I need to hear
Yeah.
this.
So I just wanted to remind listeners of the holy trinity of ass that he was a part of last year. So first of all, let me preface this by saying last year Kyle Freeland was not part of this trinity. He was average for a Colorado starting pitcher, around 5 ERA. He pitched a full season, 31 starts. ERA plus was 98. FIP was 418. That's not terrible. Okay, so excluding Kyle Freeland, the holy trinity of ass was Antonio Senzatella, Herman Marquez, and Chase Dollander. All three of those guys got very extended run in the rotation for the Colorado Rockies. Obviously, you can guess that the ERA wasn't good. When you're looking at the Rockies, that's not always the stat that you want to look at. All of that was above 6.5 for those three. Their FIPS were respectively 5.4, 5.4, and 5.5, so very, very bad. None of them were worth anywhere near positive value in terms of WAR. In combined between the three of them, they pitched, let's do some quick math, around 350 innings. in the rotation. They gave up many, many home runs, many hits. Did not strike out anyone. K rates were terrible. Um, well, Dollander wasn't egregious, but the K rates for Senzatella and Marquez were 5.1 and 5.9. And I think it's really funny that the Colorado Rockies' all-time franchise leader in strikeouts, Herman Marquez, had a strikeouts per nine of 5.9. Um, yeah, so I came across these stats last year when I did a pod with Nick, and I'll never forget the holy trinity of ass, but Antonio Sensella was a part of
The
it.
holy trinity of cheeks.
Sorry, also a whip of 1.8.
Ooh, damn.
Yeah.
That is cheeks. A 2-pack of cheeks, some would say.
Thank you for entertaining the bit.
Of course, we have to. Have to.
Yeah, that's what this show's all about.
Absolutely.
Fun.
All
Also,
right.
Austin Gomber was actually even worse. But anyways.
The return for Nolan Arenado, by the way. Which is ridiculous. Anyways, the last name on our board, AJ Minter, who has sneakily
Let's get Minter up and moving.
who has been sneakily one of the best relievers in baseball. Well, sorry, maybe not one of the best. One of the better relievers in baseball this year. Any team that really needs a lefty, just a lefty reliever. Honestly, just bullpen help in general, I think he'd be really good. ERA of 1.71, doesn't fucking walk anybody. Walks per nine is 0.86. Strikeouts aren't as crazy as they have been in his career, but they're still good. I think that he would be really well, or he would do really good in Miami. He'd do really good with the Marlins. I think he fits kind of well there for what they need. They were rumored. I think that you saw people throwing them around for Chapman a little bit before. Before the Red Sox decided to win 15 in a row. But now that those guys are off the board, I think they're going to be in more on guys like a Minter. I think they could be in on Sensatella if they wanted to, like a Luke Weaver, those kinds of guys. I think that ultimately Minter, most likely guy that they end up with out of that bunch. What are we thinking?
There's one contender in particular I'm looking at, and I'm seeing they could really use a lefty. They have one lefty currently in their current, as of right now, July 23rd. They have one left-handed pitcher in their bullpen.
Mm-hmm.
The Milwaukee Brewers. It's Aaron Ashby. Good pitcher. Don't get me wrong.
Not a bad fit.
They just have a bunch of righties. Some of them better than others. Like Lance McCullers, you traded for him, but come on, it's Lance McCullers.
Yeah, that's not a guy.
Bryce Wilson, you could actually you're out of options there. But I mean, again, it's just one of those guys where it's like if you lose, you lose. Getting a guy like Minter as a number 2 lefty to come in and just make an already pretty good bullpen even better and give more support to a starting staff that has the best pitcher in baseball right now. Anything to help that team pitching-wise would obviously be good. And a left-handed pitcher, which they desperately could add to this bullpen, could make this team go from a contender to, an even stronger contender.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I didn't even thought about the Brewers until you said it, but yeah, no, that is a really nice fit there. Really nice fit there, especially Brewers pitching.
That's the first team I thought of, honestly, because I was thinking Ashby's the only lefty I could think of on that team, relief wise.
Mm-hmm. Get him with the Brewers demon pitching devil magic lab.
Yeah,
in there.
That's another thing too. I mean,
he just becomes fucking prime Billy Wagner out of the pen.
Yeah.
Sam, what do you got? Senor Minter.
So in Toronto, the past 2 years, we're very used to Jeff Hoffman and how the underlying stuff looks good, the K rate is great, the results aren't there. For the Phillies that year, that's Jose Alvarado. Everything looks good under the hood. It's a ton of dark red, and then you look at the counting stats and you look at the or not the counting stats, sorry, you look at the rate metrics and it's like this has gone wrong somehow. So I'm not suggesting that you replace Jose Alvarado with AJ Minter. I think it's more they slot Jose Alvarado down in leverage and then bring AJ Minter in to replace that role. Because how long can you wait around for a guy to be good again, even though the stuff is good? I think it's, again, what have you done for me lately? Bring in AJ Minter, solidify the back end of that bullpen with a nice lefty. There you go.
Get him in there, Duran, everyone. That's you got a nice back end right there. I can't lie.
Yeah, there you go.
They'd have it nice down there. All right. On that note, that's the last name. So we're through the board. We're through everything. Unless anybody else has any like sort of quick notes that they want to add, I think that we're kind of good for right now.
I wish my Cincinnati Reds were contenders, but they're not.
Unfortunately, they kind of suck. Anyways, that is going to do it for this one. Sam, thank you for joining us.
Thank you guys
You're
so much
welcome
for
back
having me on.
anytime.
Our special guest,
Thank
of
you.
course. Always welcome.
Thanks for having me on.
Friend of the show.
Yeah, please listen to my podcast.
Of course. Go hit this guy up. Go hit him up. Go hit up his stuff. Anyways, thank you anyone for listening. Whether you have listened to the whole thing, stuck with us for the whole 3 hours. This is our first 3 hour one in a couple months. Listen to the whole 3 hours, or you just, bit by bit at a time. It's all the same. We love you all the same. Anyways, in 1 week.
And as always, stay frosty.
Stay frosty. Absolutely. I still don't know where you came up with that.
Yeah, neither do I, but it works. So.
It does work.
It gets the people talking.
It does get the people talking. Yeah, we will see you in the next one. We're going to do our mid-season awards in the next one. And then in the following one, we're going to be doing a lot of trade grading. So we'll see you guys in the next few. We're excited for what we got coming up soon. But anyways, everybody, take care. And we will see you then.